You're about to witness a live show like no other as Boston Chris Comics presents the Fantastic Forum. Boston Chris has assembled an incredible panel of some of the best YouTube channels from across the comic community to hang out and discuss all things comics. So get ready for some fun as the Fantastic Forum starts now.
What's up, everyone? I am here live, Boston Chris Comics, here with another episode, weekend special, I guess you can call it, of the Fantastic Forum. Mostly it came up as, I had a nice free Saturday night. Why not go live? Why not have some fun and go live? So, got a bunch of different things to talk about tonight. Just all kinds of stuff, all over the place with comics and, TV, just having actually a new video game I discovered, which is pretty damn cool if you are into the beat 'em up genre, which is pretty cool. So we got a bunch of different things to discuss, but I'm actually being joined by somebody right now, so let me go ahead and get his intro in. Bleecker Street.
Bleak, bang that joint.
Bleak.
Bleecker Street.
Comics.
Slab. Oh, not a slab.
Bleak.
Bleecker Street.
Comics.
I knew when that was gonna cut off. I had to.
What's going on, Boston? How you doing, brother?
Not too bad at all. Just kind of chilling. Figured I'd go live because I had the time, so I'm doing it. And so one of the guys that's in your intro is Big E's Comics. And I did want to talk about this just because if you're not aware, and I actually want to go ahead and I'll present that in a second. But he's got a family thing going on right now, where I guess his granddaughter, who's very young, she's 17 months old, is dealing with, I think, liver cancer, something like that. So it's definitely a sad thing. But he put up there's a GoFundMe for her. And I wanted to share that out to people just so in case, so that if you have anything that you can go ahead and donate. I've known Big E's for a long time. I've known him for about, actually, I think it's 10 years now. And super nice guy. And to be honest with you, I would say he was one of my first people that I really got introduced to and became good friends with within the community. So when I heard that, I was like, wow, that is crazy. And I wanted to be able to help him out as best I can. So trying to find it. Here it is.
That's sad as stuff. That's really sad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to, it is sad news, but it's definitely something that, want to make sure that there's, some awareness for. So I will put the link, in the chat, just in case anyone's looking to, go ahead and help out. They have done a good job. They've raised over $15,000 for this, for his granddaughter. So that's great. But every little bit helps. So just in case if you're wanting to donate, let me go ahead and get the link. And see, we got Splash in the chat. Hello, Splash.
Just a splash.
But there's the link for Big E's granddaughter. He's definitely, a lot of the New York Warriors, are synonymous with the comic community. They've been around for a long time. So, if you guys have the chance, or if anybody who's watching, can go ahead and donate. Please donate. Help one of our brothers, one of the Warriors, out. So, wanted to go ahead and shout that out for him. So. Just Big E's, she's in our prayers and thoughts, and absolutely hoping for recovery for her. So definitely thinking of you, man. So With that, um, I did also want to talk about, you know, Bleak actually for a second because he came up and he was actually one of the subjects I was going to talk about because Bleaka has, on his channel definitely comic content, the slab and not the slab, church on Sundays, but and he was doing art for a while too, and he's gone from the drawing, which I don't think that's gone or anything. That maybe taking a little bit of a break from it, but he's actually transitioned into singing live on not live, but making videos and put them up on YouTube with different covers, and they've been great. They've been really really good.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem. Yes, he does. He sings. He plays guitar, and you would just be amazed at how talented this guy is. And he put up what is it, 4 of them now?
Oh,
Four
geez.
new ones.
There's a whole bunch of music. There might be even 6 or 7 of them up there now.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, you've been killing it. Like at least once or twice a week, you put one up. Because I know you did 2 in the last 2 days. Like you had the Credence
Oh yeah.
Clearwater Revival cover, and then you also had the Mother, the Pink Floyd cover that you put up there today, and those were both awesome. Like I loved how both of those came out. Really really good. And then he also did one of his own original songs on there too. So definitely check that out if you haven't looked at Bleaka's channel for his his music that he's been doing lately, because it's been really good stuff.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and then no problem. Like I had to say, yes, we got K-pop. What's going on, K-pop?
Donkey.
I
Nice.
can go ahead and provide you with that. Susie, how you doing? And
You
Susie
K-pop
says,
donkey. Nice.
yeah. Susie says she loves the music videos, and like they've been great. And then K-pop saying Bleak's been kicking ass, and he has. He's been killing it on that. Like I tell you, like his cover of Mother was very very good, like very good. I liked it a lot.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man. That's
Oh
one
no,
that I did. I didn't want to fuck that one up for sure. It was
no.
an important song in my life.
If you like the music, just put it 2 times. Put the video 2 times on twice. Yeah, watch it a couple times.
They're quick. They're 2, 3, 4 minute videos. They're not that bad. So yeah, man.
No, but you know what? Or actually, if you've missed a couple, and if you organize them into a playlist, right?
They
Just
are all.
put them on in the background while you're doing whatever, and you just you got Bleaka just serenading you.
Please don't do that.
Why not? I think it's good stuff. I do. Like I was sitting there. I was,
I'm classic. Hate myself, but I don't like anything I do, brother. Everything I do, when I rewatch stuff, I cringe at myself. I'm like, oh god. So
yeah. Well,
but I appreciate everybody that likes my stuff. I really do, and I thank you very much.
She said, "Yeah." She's like, "All you do is need to do that. Put it on," and then she said, "Put it on at bedtime." That's right. Said, "Slow down, Boston." And he drunk talked. I am not drunk talking. I'm not drunk at all. Actually, I have not had any alcohol in a long time. If I'm drunk off of anything, it's decaffeinated English breakfast tea. I've had 2 of those today, and they're delicious.
Boston suffers from the gift of gab. He starts talking, and then he wants to talk about something else, and then he wants to talk about something else, and it all happens at the same time. That's what happens to Boston.
I try to separate, but it doesn't work that well. But in terms of all of it though, like when I was watching that, I'm singing along, and I'm just like, and part of me was like, you know what? And I don't have the voice for it, but part of me was just like, I could have done a couple of those parts. I could have done the whole the high pitch, the higher parts when I could have done those, and I definitely could have been like just as backup. I could have been the backup singer, and just like or like how Pink Floyd did it. You have there's Roger Waters, and he does like the the regular verse part, but then David Gilmour comes in and he does the mother's gonna put all her fear. Oh man, I would have been all in that, man. Yep, I'll be the mother's voice talking
When
back.
you
So
when
that'd
you
be
have
fun.
them, when you have all of them, like Pink Floyd is such a good band.
Oh yeah,
They're just a
yeah,
great band. That's just a fact. When they all sing together and they all put in their parts, they're a great band. They're,
yeah. I remember like being little, and I mean like really little. Probably was like in between like I would say like 3 and 4, maybe 5, and just I remember hearing like another brick in the wall. I remember that as a little kid, just hearing that and listening to that, and it stuck with me all the way. So that was like the one song I knew from them. And then a friend of mine,
I saw them
when we
play
were
that live, bro. I saw them play that live, and
see that
it was
that's
epic,
gonna be
man. It
awesome.
was so epic, dude. I went to the Division Bell tour when they came through Toronto, and
Nice.
first half was like a lot of Division Bell stuff, which was good. Division Bell is a
Yeah,
great album, but it's no Pink Floyd The Wall. And then all of a
yeah,
sudden, like all this, it went pitch black, and then you get ba 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 ba
yeah.
ba. The fucking pig started coming out of the middle of the stadium. The
Oh wow.
lasers were crazy. The laser light show was insane, and it was Pink Floyd
Yeah.
The Wall, dude. And it was absolute. And I think I was on 3 hits of acid, and
Oh boy. So
God
you were
knows.
probably just seeing all kinds of stuff. You're like,
Oh
wait a
my
minute.
God, dude. It was an epic, epic, epic show. I'll tell you that right now.
I know that we like I don't think they've come through this way since probably like maybe like the 80s or 70s, something like that. But I know that the Museum of Science, the Boston Museum of Science, used to have a Pink Floyd laser show, and people would be like, oh, you should go and check it out, and da, da, da. And like I never like I wasn't even really into them that much when I was in like high school. um it wasn't until I got to like maybe like my senior year I started listening, like I started like looking into it, like oh I know who Pink Floyd is. I just I know the name. I just don't know anything more about it. And so I was like, all right, let me just check this out. And and because I knew Another Brick in the Wall, I didn't know really any other songs that they had done. Like when I sat there and finally like I watched The Wall, the movie,
Oh
and
yeah.
then like Run Like Hell comes on, I'm like, I know this song. I was like, I remember that like they were doing like a fun run and they used that as the music. I was like, oh, that's what I was like, that makes sense. And
Well,
I was just like, I
that's
was
the
so
thing,
confused.
eh, Boston? Like I heard it and I didn't believe it when I was a kid, but I believe it now that I'm an adult. The first 20, 25 years of your life, all the music in your collection is to piss off your parents. After that, it becomes you start learning about music, you start learning what you actually like, you start going, oh my God, I actually like this and I like that and I like this. You don't
Yeah.
have to be stuck in one genre of music like most. I'm a thug, so I listen to rap, or I'm a metalhead, so I only listen to metal. I listen to all kinds of music, man, because music is, it's the soul, bro.
Well, no, I grew up so I grew up like listening to hip hop. Like I always loved that, and I was always a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
fan. And like and that was because like my father like he didn't go deep into hip hop. He wasn't like huge into it, but he did like Run DMC was his thing. So I remember like Run
Run
DMC is how
DMC was awesome, man.
he loved Run DMC and everything. So
Yeah,
it was like all
dude.
right. And then I guess like the next closest thing was like he was also a really big Bobby Brown fan, but I don't see my father like he's from like Boston and that area like where Bobby Brown and New Edition and all them grew up. So like I kind of wondered if, and I never asked him, but I kind of wondered if he maybe like grew up with like his parents or something like that, like something where it's like oh like because he was
Is
like
your father
super
not with
into
us anymore, Boston?
huh.
Is your father not with us anymore?
Um, he probably is. I haven't seen him in years and years and
Okay,
years. So
okay. I don't know
yeah,
too much about that part of your life. You kept saying he liked a lot of eds
yeah.
at the end of at the end of those at the end of
Oh
those
no,
words.
no, I understand. Like I understand how it comes across, and I mean,
Okay.
I would say yeah. Like I haven't
No,
last time I
I
saw
get
him
it, bro. I get
was a
it.
long.
I get it. I understand the fucking stupid dads.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I mean,
Yeah, I get you,
but
bro. Hugs,
let's see.
hugs from across from Canada. I got you, man.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Let's see. So say, wait, I guess I'm at the point that my piss off himself. He sort of refers 70s, 80s rock and metal. Well, you know what? I think that I mean, yeah, once you get a little older, then yes, of course, the music kind of changes, and it's made to make you angry. So it's just like like, cause I like, there's not much stuff I can listen to on. There's not much things that come across on the radio now that I'm like, oh, this is good. Like,
Well,
I think the
all
last
that
thing that I,
statement says is eventually you find the music you actually love. When you're
oh yeah,
when you start growing up, everything is basically to, to piss off your mom.
yeah.
Turn that
Well,
fucking shit down.
oh yeah, like growing up, I would have been like I'm sitting there growing up as a kid, being like, like my mother like Luther Vandross, and I don't know,
Yeah, you
Luther
like everything that says
Vandross,
F,
dude, Luther
and
Vandross, the man. I'm like, dude,
the more F's
like
and the more N words in the music, the better. Screw you, mom.
I was just, like, but it's just like one of those things. It's like, you go back and you listen to his music. His stuff was good. It was like he
Oh yeah,
was good. I was
he's
like, yeah.
very good. He's very good.
So, it was just like, I
My
like,
problem was my stepdad, my step parents are Polish and Ukrainian, so my dad, like, he had albums of this chick named Nana
like folk
Muscuri.
music.
Nana Muscuri, of all people. And guess what? She's got an amazing voice, but god dang it all. It's like, it was the worst. And it's still the worst. I don't care. It's still the worst.
Yeah. So aggressively relaxing says, listen to a lot of Rush right now. I have to say, I do like Rush. I do like a lot of, like, I like, they have a good amount of music that I do like. And then I haven't heard the new Redman, but I've heard great things, like the new Redman. And I want to say, I think it was like, there was an AZ album that came out, I think, a year or so ago, that was really good. And then there was a Nas album that was actually pretty good that came out, within the last year or so. So, like, I mean, some of these old guys are still throwing down and they're doing good. And the Redman album, you can tell, is just absolute,
Neil Peart grew
all
up.
the passion into it.
Neil Peart grew up, like, I don't know, 30 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah, isn't that crazy sometimes? Where it's just like,
Yeah,
oh,
man. Like, Rush is very Canadian.
yeah, it's so funny. And he said he's ventured into big band, jazz, R&B, and old music in the '70s back to the '40s. I think everybody kind of has. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. It really is a lot of good stuff out there. Just, where it kind of crosses over and it meets with you. Because, like, I remember, like, people sit there and be like I never knew anything about Jimmy. I knew Jimi Hendrix's name, but and I never really listened to any of his music until I got into, like, probably like my 20s. And then I was just like, and I started listening to more of his stuff, and I was like, oh, Jimmy's good. Jimmy's,
Dude,
and
he's
it
so
all started
unique.
with
He's
huh?
so unique. Jimi Hendrix, the way he
Yeah,
fucking played that guitar. The only person that I can equate that kind of guitar playing with is probably Prince. Prince is probably the
yeah,
best guitar player I've ever seen in my life. And Prince is not my favorite music. It's not like I'm like, oh my
yeah.
god, Prince, you're the best. He's an
So
amazing musician, but it's not
yes,
my style. But holy shit, when he
so I'm gonna admit something.
when he came out on the fucking Super Bowl one year, and he
Oh
had his
yeah, no, he
guitar,
killed it. Yeah,
dude, I was like, his guitar is a part of his body. It's like he is that guitar. It's
yeah.
unbelievable, man. These fucking
So
guys, unbelievable.
so I'll say this so too. So Jimi Hendrix just kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, okay, and it all started with a greatest hits CD that I just was curious, like, you know what, let me just listen, let's see what it's all about, and my mind exploded. And the next thing I was just like, all right, I'm gonna get a different Jimmy album every time. And then this Tower Records that was near me was going out of business, so I started picking up. So I picked up, like, his whole like thing. From there, I was like, all right, perfect, I got all this. And then so once Tower Records went out of business, I just went on this, like, just spree of getting all types of stuff. So I was like, Stone Temple Pilots, I like a bunch of their stuff. Give me this, give me that, give me all of these, give me all, like, so my CD collection expanded like crazy.
Oh yeah, when all that
very-
stuff was hot, like Stone Temple Pilots, and
yeah,
that was like the invasion, not the British invasion. What do they they come
the
from?
grunge.
Yeah, but like Nirvana started it, but it was like
Yeah,
all
it's like the grunge, so the grunge era kind of thing.
these other.
And
I
I mean,
can't remember
I
where they
like all
came
that
from
stuff. I just
though, because
never.
they came from somewhere. It's right over by British
Seattle.
Columbia. It's just yeah, Seattle, the Seattle movement. That all
Yeah,
happened, and they were great. Pearl Jam was part of that.
yeah,
But
Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, yeah, it was like Mudhoney, Alice in Chains, like they
I'd
had
have to
their
say
own, like,
Alice in Chains is probably my favorite out of that whole.
yeah,
like my personal favorite. I know they're not the most popular, but they're my personal
Oh
favorite.
no, they're great. I love Alice in Chains. Like I listen to all their stuff. Like it's funny every time I go on, like when Spotify does the the wrapped thing at the end of the year, and it's like your top 5 whatever. Like who's in your top 5? Alice in Chains always there. Like
Nice.
it's been pretty consistent for like the last like I think like 4 or 5 years. It's just the same like few. But I do have a lot of stuff I throw out. Like there's just more. I keep expanding just because when you give me something like Spotify, where it's just like, oh, you have access to just all this stuff. I'm just like, all right, if I've ever liked any of this, I'm just gonna throw it in there and then just hopefully listen to random. So there's so much random music that I just like love, and it's just good stuff. I do like Splash's comment where they say blues is great on Saturday afternoons. So I'm gonna tell you something. When I was a little kid, when I was very little, my mother and my father on Saturdays when there was nothing going on, so it would be like middle of the afternoon or whatever. We had like everybody had like a record player and a tape player and stuff like that. So and speakers and so we used to like move like furniture out the way and just dance around in our living room and stuff. And be putting with the Earth, Wind and Fire and was it Earth, Wind and Fire and Michael Jackson and was it Tops, I think it was, and Temptations. It would just be like, all this like Motown type stuff would be just going off. So it was like Motown Saturdays.
You gotta listen to the boss in there every now and again. You gotta, fucking.
You know what? I've never been a huge Bruce Springsteen fan.
I touched Bruce Springsteen. I've touched Bruce Springsteen. I grabbed him by the arm and I slid off of Bruce Springsteen because he was so fucking sweaty. It was disgusting. But yeah,
wow.
It was the middle of a concert. He came out. You had the stage of the concert, but there was like a T, so there was a part of the stage that came way out into the crowd, and he came way out, man, and I fucking grabbed him. I was like, Bruce, I love you.
And you basically got slimed by him though, because
I got slimed by Bruce Springsteen, man.
What's going on, Sad? How you doing, man? No, so when you say REO, right? You're talking about REO Speedwagon?
Yeah.
It's funny. I made fun of my cousin Marie for liking them. I get that. She's like, I was 13 and we were up at this campground. It was it was where a bunch of my family in New Hampshire was like staying up for the summer. And so I was like, my cousin Tom was like, go put on music in the jukebox. And so the jukebox was dominated by Guns N' Roses. So I asked,
as it should be dominated by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
Guns N' Roses is my favorite band of all time. When I was a kid, that was my first favorite band.
So was it 1995? This is, so I remember this. So picture 13-year-old Boston Chris with his backwards Michigan hat. And I think at the time I Sean Kemp jersey.
Oh, fucking Sean
I'm all
Kemp.
popped out and everything. But it's
Sean
like I'm in
Kemp,
this,
of all
I
people.
love Guns N' Roses. My older cousin Tom and my cousin Larry are just sitting there like like just giving me money to put on music in the jukebox. So I asked my cousin Marie, it's funny because it's like all their parents are like brother and sister, and so it's just like let me go ahead. All their parents are like same side. They're all brothers and sisters. So it's like when I say them, so it's 3 cousins from 3 separate families.
Okay, because you made it sound like they were all brother and sister.
No, not inbred, but like they're all separate. Like it's perfectly fine. And so what happened was like my cousin Marie is my cousin Larry's sister, and then my cousin Tom is cousins with both us. So it's like so Marie was like, I asked her, I was like, you got anything you want me to put on, because they give me money to put on music or whatever. And she's like, well, if you can find some REO Speedwagon. I was like, REO Speedwagon 1981, what the hell is like? Look, I was like, can you tell in the 90s? And she just gave me this look like she wanted to punch me in the face.
Well, the 80s, the problem with the 80s had some really good music, but it also had a really bad version of music too. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of Bowie in part of the 80s when he started wearing suits and fucking fancy shoes. I was like, what the fuck is happening to David Bowie?
Well, I mean, like, if you can get past the Ziggy Stardust, because he was kind of weird with Ziggy Stardust.
I love Ziggy Stardust. That's my David Bowie. Ziggy Stardust is my David Bowie.
Yeah, but But yeah, it's just like I have no problem with the 80s. I grew up in it. It was just one of those things like when you when you're 13
Everybody
to 16,
dancing
you're
like
cool, so you're
Carlton
looking
from
for the
fucking
newest coolest
goddamn
thing.
Will Smith. Everyone dancing like Carlton in their videos with their suits and their fucking high waisted pants. It was terrible. It's fucking
Oh yeah, I mean,
terrible.
I mean, everybody had their look in the 80s. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know, it was so
Um,
bad. It was so
Tat
bad.
saying that he's been to a lot of concerts does not surprise me because Tat is musician in his own right and everything like that. So it's just like I can see that. I think that so the strangest as far as like a concert, the strangest place that you would have seen me at was my friend Jamie, who's into like he's into a like whole separate but like very like broad different kind of music. And he's broad in his range, like he's listened to like just about everything, but like there's certain things that he likes. So I don't know if anybody in the crowd knows of a band called King Crimson. I
Yeah.
only know them because was it Spice One sampled one of their songs for so he made a song called The Murder Show and he sampled one of their songs.
Yeah,
And so
yeah, good.
yeah, so I went to that concert and at the time it's actually kind of like this is where Boston Chris sounds kind of cool. So at the time I was this is 2001, in between 2001 2002, and I was going to college for radio, right? So I worked at this web radio station that actually was the beginning. It was called New England Streaming Media, but it was radioboston.com was so the parent company was New England Streaming Media, which eventually I think became Spotify. Funny enough. But so I was working there and so I was just an intern working in the radio station, helping them out with production and stuff. And so the guy, his name was what was his name? He was Z Sid was his name. He was one of them like big DJs. And so he's like, oh man, he's like, dude, there's a show going tonight, but I'm working here. I can't go. And I really want to go and this and that. And I was like, where at? And he goes, oh, it's in Boston. And I'm like, oh, all right. And because where I worked at was a place called Cambridge, which is right next to Boston. And I said to him, I was just like, oh, dude, I was like, my friend Jamie just called me and asked me if I want to go to this concert tonight in Boston. So I mean, there's probably a bunch of different shows happening at once, but I was like, yeah, he wants me to go see some band called King Crimson. So he's like, what? That's exactly where I want to go. He's like, oh, he's like, I fucking hate you. He's like, are you serious? He's like, you're gonna go, right? You're gonna go, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I was like, it sounds cool. I was like, and I know that they sampled off of this. He's like, oh, I'm so fucking jealous of you, man. He's like, and he said like being cool. He's like, it's awesome, man. He's like, I think it's awesome. I think you're doing a great job going and checking this out. He's like, you're gonna love it. He's like, but he's like, it's not for you though, just because you you I'm mad at you because you won't appreciate it the way I do, but you're gonna have a great time. He's like, so I need to know. And he had me sit there and tell him everything about it. And it was a great show. I was actually really like taken back. Like they were good. They were really good. And they had just like their sound and the way that they played was like just really flawless. And it was just like really kind of like that experimental type stuff, which was cool. It just all these new sounds kind of just came in. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Like I actually really enjoyed this.
I've seen so many concerts, Boston. I've seen a fucking shitload of concerts. My best one that I could probably say, not my best concert that I've seen, but I was at a punk rock festival, and
Yeah.
there's a bunch of great bands at this punk rock festival, and it's fucking awesome. And you got everybody, they're all punk rocking out, and everything's great. And I go to another part of the park. Wu-Tang Clan is playing, and I got to see Wu-Tang Clan play at this punk rock festival. I was like, what has just happened? And that's
awesome, man.
probably my favorite concert that I saw by accident for sure. But one that I'm really happy that I saw is Wu-Tang Clan, man. The only person they didn't have, I don't think they didn't have ODB with them, but that was the only person that they didn't have with them when I saw them. So they had everybody else, and except they didn't have what's his name either. The one with the awesome voice. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Let's see, the one with the awesome voice. So Old Dirty wasn't with them. So
yeah,
I'm curious if you're thinking that it was Old Dirty that didn't have, because
no, Old Dirty did not have an awesome voice.
Well, awesome voice. How? What do you mean? Like
like really hardcore rappy. Like he was really noticeable. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Was it Method Man?
Yeah, that's it. There it is.
I've seen yeah, I saw Wu-Tang. It was after Old Dirty died, so he
Mhm.
wasn't there, but but it was still fun. I saw them at the at Randall's Island for the Rock the Bell show. That was actually one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. It was like,
Did you watch their TV show? I thought it was
oh
good.
yeah, I watched the TV show, I watched that documentary. I'm a
Yeah,
huge Wu-Tang fan. I have all that stuff.
yeah, I
Like
thought it
like
was really good. They did a really. I liked the show. I thought it was great.
No, it was great. Like I liked it a lot, and I think my favorite part of basically like season two was when they basically were all getting they gave their first solo albums, I think, for the most part, just kind of like a their own like themed type shows, and they were great. Like Jizz's was the best one. I love Jizz's. I loved Raekwon's. Old Dirty's was cool, and then was it what else they have? And then like the stuff that they were doing, they're going inside like RZA's imagination as he's like making the beats and stuff. So you see him like that was it was just really done well when they were trying to get into the musical part of it all. It was fun. It was a good
Splash,
show.
I saw AC/DC. They were awesome, and they have a cannon, and they shoot a cannon on stage, and it's freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I gotta
AC/DC, man. That was That was probably the most expensive ticket I ever bought. Was AC/DC.
let me go ahead. So in case anyone wants to join, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw the link out there. Just because, let's see. Yeah, I appreciate how tight some bands are. Like 311 was perfect. It was eerie. I could see that.
There's
Um,
the older the band, usually the tighter they are.
yeah. It's just one of those things where it's just like, you see them. I actually like when they do stuff just for fun, like kind of out of nowhere. It's just like, all right, like I'm just gonna play like that. I'm like, oh, okay. I remember, what was it? They had trying to think of just random concerts I've been to, like no stuff. It's just like I remember actually there was a City Hall Plaza, and I forget who was there, but like they had like the guitarist from Boston, and so he was just kind of helping them out. I think it was like Cheap Trick, and they had the guitarist from Boston, and I was just passing by. I wasn't there for anything. I was just passing by in Government Center, and so like. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm sure you heard this before. And they start playing that long time song, and he's just going into it and this and that. And he's like, yeah, he's like, they're gonna be here tomorrow. So if you come back tomorrow, you get to see him do that live again. And he was just chilling, just having some fun. And I was just like, that's so crazy. That's so cool that like, this guy just, at a moment's notice, like, you know what, just do this. And then like, just all these different acts and bands, and they're just fun to see. So,
Yeah.
and I have to say, like, I think that, that's one of the things that a lot of people can go ahead and just bond and have fun over, just is like, this concert experiences and people being like, because once you've actually been to one, it's like one of those things that you're like, wow, I feel it, I understand it, like I can see why this is so popular.
Oh, never. And then once you break away from the concerts and start
Yep.
going to festivals, like 3 day long festivals, that's a whole
Yep.
other animal. Where you get
That's the link. That is the link if you want to join us.
Tad, how you doing? Yeah, I've been to a shit ton of concerts, man. I was at a hospital way away from here, and some got messed up with my cab and yada yada yada. I called my buddy, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how to get home. He's like, oh, weird. I'm gonna be right there, and I got a ticket for Pearl Jam. We're going to Pearl Jam tonight. I was like, bam. So yeah, that was a fun Pearl Jam concert experience.
Yeah, I've never seen Pearl Jam. I never really. I'll be honest with you. If they're not playing their first album, I really don't care about them.
Pearl Jam is one of the best rock and roll concerts I've seen in a long time. They're pure rock and roll. Eddie Vedder like shares his wine bottle with the crowd and shit. Like it's pretty.
I don't want that. What if he has like trench mouth or something? I don't give me no.
I don't know. It was a pretty intimate experience for being a huge concert. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, you basically kissed Eddie Vedder.
with Pearl Jam. I was pretty impressed with their whole shit. They were pretty awesome, and they always go beyond the time that they're supposed to. They don't care. They pay for the fine and whatever it is.
No, but you know what though? I say that in jest because he's not the only one. Old Dirty Bastard did that before. He had
Oh,
he had a bottle, I think, of like Cristal or something like that, and he was sharing it with the
Old
crowd.
Dirty
Like,
Bastard. I'm not sure if
like,
I would share one with
like,
Old Dirty
don't drop my shit.
Bastard. Yeah, that guy's fucked up.
You don't spill it. He's like, and I better get it back. Because he was just like, this costs money. But you could have some. I'm gonna share this with you. He's like, but he's like, you take it, and he basically said, like, you have you can take, and he's like, you can only get it to about half, so you guys share it around the crowd, but it better come back as half. And I'm like, oh no, you're having a lot of faith in the
There's a
crowd.
lot of faith in a terrible human society that we got brewing.
Yeah. But I guess this is at a time that he could trust and hope that everybody's doing their thing and doing the
I
right
wouldn't
thing.
want to do it just because I wouldn't want someone to drop something in my booze.
Yeah.
I wouldn't toss my bottle around a crowd at all, man. That's not something I would do. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, we got somebody in the back. Let's go ahead and give him an intro to come out too. What's up, Tat?
Hey, what's up?
Not too much, man. Just chilling. Talking about concerts and having some fun.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, man, you guys talking about concerts. I could definitely get into that conversation.
Yeah, there's so many. I've been to a good amount. I haven't been to when I say a good amount, I've been to probably about 20 or so, which is not like, I know people that have gone to like hundreds, and they just, that's just what they do. Like how we collect comics, they go to concerts. And
That's
just
about how many times I've seen Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson is about 20 times.
That's crazy. I would love to sit there and say that I've seen somebody that many times. I haven't. I've seen. I would say actually two. All right, they're technically free, but I had to pay to get into the Epcot Center for Disney and everything. So it cost me a Disney vacation. But I did go during the Food and Wine Festival, and I got to see Boys to Men. For free, and that was the first concert I've ever seen there where they're like, all right, only everybody inside of this box can stay. Everybody else keep moving, keep walking, because they knew that like the whole crowd stopped, and I was like, we want to see the Boys to Men. Like, no, you keep it moving. You're not in the square. I was like, I'm in the square. I ain't moving for nothing. And then we saw Billy Ocean. Billy Ocean was actually very good too, and Billy Ocean was like CD quality. Like he was 100% on point, and it was. Me, my wife, one of my best friends, and his wife, and we're all just kind of like hanging out there watching. So yeah, we were like babies when this dude was doing his thing, but everybody else in the crowd was like these older people. Oh, they were having the times of their life. Like they loved it, but we all loved it. We were all as one in the Epcot Center that day.
Pretty sure my first concert was the Beach Boys. I
Oh,
remember being on holiday with my parents, and we were on the beach in Huntsville, and the Beach Boys were playing on a fucking stage. It was really weird. I remember that vividly. I had like a childhood memory going, "Man, this is awesome." Pretty sure that happened.
Splash got lucky. He got to see AC/DC in Lubbock, Texas for $6. Good for you, Splash.
$6. Jeez Louise. I think it cost me $300 to see AC/DC.
Yeah. That's definitely 1979 had good prices. But you know what though? It's funny because there's so many things that if you get to see a band before they get big, you can sit there and brag and like, oh, I remember seeing these guys and they were nobodies, and I got to see them for like $10, and it's like, oh yeah, good for you. Like my mother
I wish I would have saw Nirvana when they were.
Oh, we got another guy in the back. Let's go ahead and bring him out real quick with intro. What's up, Steppo?
Greetings and felicitations.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well, it's going. I started to watch some of the games, and it ended up being a drag. I don't even know if the Eagles even pulled it out or whatever happened. Did they get killed?
No, they play tomorrow.
Pittsburgh got beat.
I thought the Eagles and Green Bay were playing. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think they're playing tomorrow.
In Sao Paulo? Or is that some other time?
I don't know. I know that the Ravens and Steelers played today.
Yeah, Ravens beat the Steelers.
I mean,
San Diego
that-
lost to the Texans.
That's what it was, Texans. And yeah, you were able to turn off the Eagle. Sorry, wow, name every bird but the Ravens. You were able to turn off the Ravens game by halftime. It was 21-0. I was like, oh, this is over.
Yeah. I
This
think
is
they
not
won
looking-
21-14.
Yeah. Let's see. Susie says she saw Elton John.
That makes me a little
Taylor
jealous. I
Dayne,
had a
wow.
chance to see Elton John, but the tickets were like $1,000, and I was like, Elton John, I love you, but I'm going to listen to you on the radio.
I can buy a lot of records for $1,000.
Yeah, I can buy a lot
Yeah.
of records for
Oh,
$1,000.
yeah.
Original pressings, signed and licked by him.
I know.
exactly.
Now, see,
I think I'm okay.
Molly Hatchet opened for AC/DC when Splash saw them for $6. How cool is that?
Who did?
That's cool.
Molly Hatchet?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Susie says she saw John Denver, and he was awesome.
John Diefendorfer.
Yeah, my
You know what-
first concert ever was Kenny Rogers.
Kenny
Oh, wow.
Rogers. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Then it went to going to Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Scorpions, AC/DC, Anthrax, Alice in Chains,
That's a good one.
Ooh, I'm
Megadeth,
jealous. I'm jealous
Testament.
of that Alice in Chains.
The first one I went to was Chicago
Soundgarden.
Transit Authority.
Is that an actual band, or is that like 'cause
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
Oh,
Chicago.
okay.
And
Oh,
the
okay.
opening band was Nuclear Cock. Excuse me, Atomic Rooster.
Atomic Rooster. Atomic
Atomic Rooster was the open. It was in a barn in the middle of a Springer's Ballroom. It was a huge barn. They had hay all over the floor. It was a clean barn. There must have been. They had the whole thing set up with all the speakers and everything, and they started playing Atomic Rooster. And this was 1968, I think that this was. I was in 8th grade. And then all of a sudden, all these reefers are going around, and I'm going, my buddy, I'm saying, my God, what's that? Well, I'm a white Anglo-Saxon, Episcopalian, good Episcopalian boy, West Hills boy. And I'm going, what's that? And he says, that's pot. And I
Who's
said,
smoking
you
reefer
mean
rap?
like marijuana pot? He says, yeah. So we're both going,
Yeah, exactly. That's when Steppo was like, Steppo turned into a stone man that day. Like,
I was so stoned.
Stone
And
Man?
his sister, his name is John Graswood. His sister drove, and they had a 1966 Tempest, Pontiac Tempest, the independent rear suspension, and it had it didn't have the biggest engine. It had the one step down slab side, and it was a great car. But after Atomic Rooster opened, they said, "Well, we're Atomic Rooster, but you can call us Nuclear Cock."
Oh, I like
And everybody started screaming, and I go, "What are they screaming about?" He says, "Don't you get it?" I says, "Okay, yeah, I get it." "Ah!" But Chicago was so good, I couldn't even believe how good they were. So I was walking down the street one day. Pretty darn good stuff. It sounded just like the record. I mean, really, the whole world is watching. But Chicago Transit Authority was what they were first called, and then they turned they shortened it to Chicago.
Probably a good idea. It sounds like school, for Pete's sake. Like I'm
Then after that, I went to see Steppenwolf
Oh,
nice.
in 1969, and it was down at a place that had a huge fountain across the street. Actually, they put a fountain in, but they had all these kind of green, grassy hills right in front of the theater in an urban renewal area, and the concert was so loud. It literally was so loud that when I went outside, my ears were hissing. They hissed for like 3 hours. It was like almost ear bleedingly hot loud, but it was so good. That was a great one.
nice.
It ended up knocking you back with the sound. It's just like, whoa. But yeah, like
When the Who came to Portland for the first time, they came with the Beatles in 1965.
Wow.
And the Who opened up for the Beatles. I didn't get to go. I think my sister did. I didn't get to go to that one. I would have gone, but I was not consulted. No one told me anything. And in 1965, I'm like 12, and they're going, "The Beatles are coming. The Beatles have been there." And I said, "Well, I didn't even know they were my favorite band." And when the Who opened, they were booed off the stage.
That's
really?
That's
Yeah, they said, we want the Beatles. We don't want you, crummy Who. And then the Who says, we'll never come back. And then in 1976, they finally said, okay, we're going to come back. And this was where they had first gone to Seattle, and a guy got killed in the press because it was festival seating. So they had, when they opened up the doors, the press of the crowd to get through these doors up in Seattle, a guy got crushed to death. So when they came down to Portland to the Memorial Coliseum, then my brother and I and a couple other guys, pretty strong guys, in 76, so we basically bound ourselves. We were really near the front, and they started to push on us, and we were strong enough, we were able to push them back, and then we got in, and rather than going down right into the road right in front, we went all the way across and then up to the other side so we could get perfect seats close in. And that was where they had this laser light that they had first started experimenting with, these laser lights, these green laser lights. And unfortunately, in this, they basically blinded some people. In other words, people were looking right into the lasers, and they fried their eyes. Concerts were tough back then. When you went to a concert, you took your life in your hands, okay? And then when the lights went out, and then they had that going on there, it was incredible. And of course, Daltrey, where he spins the microphone, the long cord, and shoots it way up in the air, and it comes back. And he had the fringe kind of coat on with the jingly jangles on the back and stuff. And he's marching on this and Ent Whistle, and and it was pretty rocking. And then they came back. I saw him again. The sets were the same both times, but this was in 76, and they went around, and I think it was 78 was the second time they came through. But and at that time, and of course, one time, then I'll cede the floor, and then another time when Edgar Winter came to the Coliseum, and the Coliseum, they call it the Glass Palace because it's entirely made out of glass. There's a metal part across the top, and they have all these stanchions and stuff, and then they have, to protect the inside, which was a sort of an oval, they had these black drapes these huge industrial drapes that were in place. And so the concert started about 5, and then they said, Edgar Winter's playing, and he says, people keep asking me, where's your brother? And at that time, Johnny Winter was having some sort of problems. Johnny Winter walks up onto the stage and rips into Highway 61. If you're familiar with that tune, Highway 61. And then he says, oh, we thought you'd like to see this. And then they lowered the drapes. They lowered the drapes all the way down, and it was a sunset, and everybody could look up, and the West Hills of Portland, it was like a beautiful red sunset. Everybody started screaming, and then they really rocked in, and then they kicked into Frankenstein. It was pretty cool. It was some pretty good stuff there.
That sounds
anyway, down memory lane with the old guy. And then Franklin, right. And then I'm under the lemon tree, and then Franklin Roosevelt came. Oh, okay, no.
Who still puts on a good show? Alice Cooper, man. That guy still puts on an amazing show, and it's weird. Like I just saw him, I don't know, probably 3-4 years ago now. Awesome show, all the costume changes, all of the, it's a real show. It's not just.
You mean it's a real show? Not sort of not one of those ersatz shows.
Yeah, not one of these guys just rocking about. This guy is doing stuff. He's costume.
Was he rocking a boat?
The sets are changing. I don't know. Did you hear me say a boot, or did you hear me say about?
Absolutely, just like you said it.
Maybe you should fix some American ears.
American ears.
Yeah,
you like it? Like it's made of tin.
Yeah, I can see.
No, there's definitely people out there that make it their mission to give you the best possible time they can, no matter what it is, and they will, like they go beyond just making it music. It's like, no, you're gonna have an experience when you come to my show. There's all kinds of stuff happening. And
I'd like to see Kiss for that. I haven't seen Kiss, and they put on I haven't said, but I hear they put on just a lightning show. Like
Jethro Tull's a good one too. Jethro Tull, if you like Tull, I really do like Jethro Tull. I will show one of the books. Can I show one of the ones I'm going to show tomorrow, Bleecker?
Well, you can show whatever you like, Mr.
No, on Church. I just want to show you. This is sort of a interesting book.
It's a good one, yeah.
What do you got there?
It's a cool story. I've actually,
I can't see it because Chris isn't making you big.
Oh, sorry.
This sucks.
Hey, I thought that you. Wait a minute. I saw you at the hunt, and you were slicing and dicing with those controls. Everybody was going, "Wow, Chris knows his business."
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you said, "Well, boy, it's a lot tougher than it looks." But you did a good job on it, Chris.
I tried. I really did. I wanted to try to make it as flawless as possible.
That's a great cover, Seppo.
Flawless as possible. And then the back of it is
Jeff.
It's Jeff the landfish or what? A land shark.
Land shark, yeah.
I just bought these books. I saw this. It's so cute, and I did pick up his first appearance, and I will be showing that tomorrow too. But this was part of one of these action or affordable auctions, and there's a guy who's a slabbed addict. His name is David, and he's got a Nicolas Cage signed Ghost Rider, and Nicolas Cage doesn't sign them, and it's like $1,400, and I mean he has some really really high end signed high grade slabbed books, and anyway, so he was doing this sort of like special for Christmas time. And so he had these, and he had shown them once before, but he only just sort of quick went by them. And there are 4 of them.
Nice.
There were four different ones, the regulars and the variants, and he put $30 a throw on them.
Nice.
$30 a throw.
Jeez.
I mean, it's slamming. It's $50 for a book like.
Yeah, he basically gave them to you.
Yeah, so I said, I'll take all 4, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'll show the rest of them, but look at, and these are 20th Century Fox.
Yep.
Marvel,
Yeah.
but it's the 20th Century Studios label.
Yep.
On a Marvel book.
It's good stuff.
Isn't
It's a
that
good
interesting?
story.
And who did the cover on this? It says here, Andrea DeVito art. I'm assuming that that's the cover. No, it's a Marco
Polo.
Polo, and then you move, and then they can't find you anyway. Marco Polo.
Oh.
And then you open your eyes and you cheat and you catch him. You cheated. Yeah, so did you.
Fishy out of water.
So anyway, Chicheco.
Nice.
That rolls. It rolls off the tongue. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. No, it's that's a cool cover. Like really cool. And it's actually a good story if you haven't read it.
Yeah, it is a
pretty
good story. Actually, I enjoyed the Predator versus Wolverine stuff. It's pretty good.
So there'll be more of those things, and I just want to because I want to do what I do here.
Yeah, Boston, we're going to be showing off modern.
You'll be seeing a lot of this stuff tomorrow, too.
I like
We're going to be
that.
showing off modern books that you got last year that you thought were cool. They don't have to be big keys or anything. Just
there are various things that have accumulated.
Yeah, that's the last Perez, that last run of Judge Perez out that he did before he unfortunately left us.
I'm very happy that I have a George Perez signature. Actually,
Yeah.
I'll show this again too, but I just think this is hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have 2 of those books, not that cover, but 2 of those.
Okay, Alan.
That was the Infinity Dime. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
really
the first appearance
good
of the Infinity Dime. Come on, you gotta have a couple.
Yeah. Right? Infinity Dime. Oh, look at that
That
butt.
gun honey stuff.
Pooh Bambi.
Oh
Haven't you ever heard of Pooh Bambi? Neither
no,
have
no, I have
No.
not heard of Pooh
I.
Man.
This is the one that this
yeah,
is
that's
the
cool.
first appearance of Mr. Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
like absolutely broiling hot, and I bought it with a group of books. And I showed this, and then Ellen says, "Oh, do you know what you have there? Oh." And I said, "No, what do I?" And I go, "No, what do I have? Oh, I want that book."
You turn him in the horseback from Welcome Back, Carter. Oh,
Mr. Carter.
yes! I need to get one of those. I love that cover. That's a great book.
Anyway, those are just some of the kinds of covers you're going to see tomorrow on the church.
Beautiful.
Very
Beautiful.
nice.
That's because at church, what you do is you bring stuff that the peoples will like. So it's going to be moderns and stuff. Chris, now are you going to show some books this time on church, or are you just going to sort of stand and watch and throw hurl insults like you usually do?
I mean, when you have a talent, you know what I mean. Like why squander it?
Don't hide your light under a basket. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I mean, I could definitely go ahead and show some books.
That would be very decent of you, Boston Chris. That would be decent of you.
You have to know though, you're very hard to follow. Like it's one of those things where it's like,
not
okay,
with
well,
moderns. No. Don't ever think that this is all moderns. I'm not, and I was talking about this just the other day too. I said, it doesn't have to be a golden age book from hell, 9,000 million warp factor 5 books. There are a lot of really fun modern books and good girl books and stuff like that, and just interesting covers. But I have a bunch of moderns that I'm going to show, and that was just sort of a snapshot of them, but just fun, kind of interesting things.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I have
comic
some
books
stuff
can be
that
fun.
I've
I've got Kiss comic books, not because they're worth anything, because the covers are
because they're cool and they're fun. That's the fun is the operative term.
Yeah.
You can't have fun with it. What the hell?
Exactly.
Even in Boston,
they're not called boring. They're called funny
Well,
books.
actually, I do have some stuff that I can show for tomorrow now because I went to a shop, was it last week, and I picked up a bunch of stuff. I picked up some stuff that I had won on was it Whatnot sale. It was like more of an auction type thing, and then while I was there, I just
you have the Whatnot books sent to your LCS for you,
well,
and you pick them up there. That's a nice system.
Yes. So if you have that's one thing to look into. If you have a shop that does Whatnot sales locally, they can opt for local pickup, and then you just go there and pick them up. So no shipping at all. It's just like, just come right in and get them. So I'm like, perfect. And then of course, but it's kind of a trap because he knows as soon as I go in, I'm like, ooh, what's this? What's that?
It isn't kind of a trap. It's a trap.
Oh, it's a trap.
Oh, yeah. So
It's a
so
trap.
I have a bunch of
I'm here
models.
just to pick up my books. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
What's that shiny new thing you have on the wall, sir?
Must
wall-
have.
Listen, let me tell you something. His wall is absolutely lethal when you get in there because there's always something that I see that's like kind of like off the beaten path. I'm like, well, dude, what is that? And so that shop is where I ended up getting this book from. This I've shown this a bunch of times, but like this Pussycat book.
I have that one too. It's a great book.
Great.
So he had this on the and that's the fun part. It's like I know I can pick this out and like you, Alan, and people because not a lot of people know about this book. But like
it's a tough book.
Wow.
It's a tough book for sure.
Yeah. So I saw this. I was like, dude. And he gave me like a sweetheart deal on it. I was like, yeah, all right, I got to. So like that's the type of stuff that he'll have sometimes when I go in there. And so
that's Bill Ward. That's Bill Ward on that, isn't it?
What happened?
Bill Ward art. That's Bill Ward art on that.
I think so. Yeah. It's either him or Bill Everett. I forget. But I know it's
no, it's not Bill Everett. That's not. No. Bill Everett. Bill Everett's Submariner, sharp, pointy, angular.
Oh, okay.
And Bill Ward is round
Curvy.
dead.
Is that Susie says your mic is hot. She says you're way loud. Apparently.
Is my mic too hot? Okay, is that better?
But yeah,
is that better? I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to be too hot. Actually, yes, I did.
Yeah, but I mean, just to give it, I would say so. They do have there a Kirby signed. I think it's Forever People #1.
Ooh,
and I was just like I slapped it up on the wall, but it says Kirby signature. I was like, good God.
What's the grade on it?
It's a 7.0, but it's a Kirby signature. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Like
and what's the book again? What's the book again?
Forever People #1. So the first.
How much is it? How much is it?
And I'm just like, I can't like I that's what I mean. Like his wall is lethal because there's always something. There's always something that's like amazing.
But really, how much is it? But really, how much is it?
I didn't ask.
Well,
I knew better. I knew better than the
you gotta
default,
ask,
but
Boston.
you
I
know
need
what?
to know. Some people in this world need to know how much signed Kirby Forever People #1 are.
Listen,
That's the first Dark Side, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
yeah, first full of them. Yep.
I have
Yep.
a Forever People #1, but mine's not signed
I
by
do
Buddy
too.
Roll,
I do
Jack
too.
Kirby.
And that's it. Like what gets me with that too is that, like, you know, I understand, you know, his point of view of not having to go ahead and do this, but you know, if it's signed by Jack Kirby
Oh
now,
my
especially
God.
with like with the unless so here's what I say, unless you're afraid of Banana Gate, which I can fully understand that, because I honestly am not. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Yeah, I am not
Beautiful.
shy of saying that I haven't submitted a book because of the Banana Gate. And you know,
What's
I know
Banana Gate? Because they
I'm
bend
actually
your
worried
book?
about that
What's
too, Bob.
Banana
Yes.
Gate?
I'm
Yes,
very
that's
worried about
exactly it. That's exactly it. They bend the book. And
So
so for me,
if there's a 1/1000th of a percent chance of that happening,
It's
and you're not going to
one-
send in
it's not
because of
one
that, you should do
1,000th.
it.
It's not 1/1000th.
no,
It's
it's been
much higher
happening for a
percentage
while.
than that. It's like
But
1
the
in
thing-
10, 1 in 9.
But the thing is, though,
No.
I mean,
Yes.
No.
Yes.
then again, I mean, it's just like, if you like, I mean, with that book, if you were to buy it from that shop, take it off the wall, crack it, send it out to get, you know, verified, you know, from CGC if that's what you wanted, and then you have a, you know, verified Kirby signature.
Is
you know.
is it a purple label, Boston?
No, the verified is yellow with a black stripe that says verified at the top.
Okay,
So
but
I mean,
right now.
But
is
it's
the
CGC or
No,
is
no.
it CBCS?
CBCS is the one that does the verification.
That's what I
It's
thought.
CGC.
Well,
I
no,
think
because CGC does now too. So it's
Yep.
an older
Oh.
slab, Chris.
It's older. I want to say I think it is purple though. I'm
it's
pretty sure
it's got to be. If it's older, it's purple because
it's either purple or green. Like
they,
whichever
they didn't verify the signature. They wouldn't do it.
No, because it's I think inside the books. I didn't see it on the book, so it's on the inside, like where you're saying. With
That's
pen or
usually where Kirby signed his books, was inside the
Wow.
cover.
Yeah, so does John Byrne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Byrne does the same thing. He signs it inside.
So John Byrne was copying Jack Kirby again.
Yeah, that
Right.
copycat.
What a copycat!
Yeah, I have to say, I really I like those Forever People. Actually, I like Forever People, New Gods. Like I have a theory. It's my
The
own
New
theory.
Gods was really good. The New Gods was really good as
Yeah.
far as content goes.
So I have my own theory on this one, and it might sound a little far fetched. It might
Ow.
not. But
That
I have
sounds
a theory
far fetched.
Yeah, it sounds pretty far fetched to me.
could be. But I have a theory that all of the Jack Kirby creations, not like Thor and all that type of stuff, but everything that's created by Kirby, as far as like the Eternals, sorry, not the Eternals, Commandy, Mr. Miracle, the New Gods, you know, like all the Fourth World stuff, and then the Eternals and you know, Demon. All I feel like they're all connected.
Don't say Eternals again.
So you
I'm
think
saying-
like the DC stuff is connected to the Marvel stuff as far as Jack Kirby's world is
Yeah,
concerned?
I would even go so far as say Inhumans as well. I think Inhumans is kind of connected in that same way. Even though they're Fantastic Four, or they came from that. Like I would say, like because they all kind of seem to have something that kind of feels similar throughout.
I got
not
3
just
of
the
these. I don't know how come I got 3 of them.
I don't know. I love that big box.
One's not good enough. You need 3.
Yeah, that
You
big
see
box
what
is
that
definitely-
you see what that Omega Men 3 is doing now with all this Lobo
Oh
talk?
yeah, it's jumped. It's jumped way up. I still say K-pop got mine for a deal, and I'm glad that she got it, because you know I got it signed, and I went ahead and just gave it to her because she really wanted it. I've had it for a long time, and it was never anything like I got it just to get it, and then I was perfectly fine to let it go. So I'm happy that she was.
You were
happy.
perfectly fine to let it go?
Yeah.
My first
I'm not believing you.
Oh no, I'm.
I think you
100%,
keep saying that. You keep saying that. You said it too many times. I don't believe you anymore.
No, she because she's a huge Lobo fan, so it's like if anybody was to get it, I'm glad it was her.
Right. You were giving it to somebody that really appreciated it.
Yeah,
was that one signed as well, wasn't it? Or was it
it was signed. Yep,
Yeah.
it was signed by was it Mike DiCarlo? I think it was.
Yeah.
The artist on the cover.
Nice.
Yeah.
She also bought a Lobo 1, I think, off you as well, which is signed by
And that was
Bisley.
done by Simon Bisley. Yep. So she got triple signatures that day.
Simon Bisley, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
He's one of my favorite artists, and I like Simon Bisley's art a lot.
Where did Simon Bisley go to his art school?
Somewhere in Australia, I think.
So he went by the name of Simon. Is that what he did?
Hello, my name is Simon. I like to draw drawings.
I like to do my drawings.
Nice.
I believe in miracles.
Oh
Where
God, that's
You sexy thing.
You
That's a good
sexy
song.
thing.
where did you come from?
I believe in miracles.
Wasn't that in the movie Full Monty?
Susie's
Right, probably.
No, I'm not showing church books, honey.
No.
I'm showing just books I pulled out of the thing. I got a short box of books right here. I have many books. You just never know. I always thought that this guy looked like that in that movie Glass, that he looked like Samuel L. Jackson.
yeah.
Remember the villain?
Oh,
Yeah.
Where he shatters his bones by just breathing and stuff like that.
And
Yep.
they call me Mr. Glass.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
When I first
Doesn't that
saw-
look like him?
I
Yeah.
was
Sort of,
it was
yeah, does.
unbelievable. That movie blew me out of the water, man. I didn't know what it was. And then, of course, when you saw the second one years and years and years later, and Bruce Willis is at the end of the movie, I was like, oh my God, what just happened? Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The children, they told
Oh,
me. the
nice.
children-
New cuts.
Mr.
Who was that? M. Night Shyamalan or something? Who did those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong. But you know the best part of that is when the kid is looking down at the newspaper
Mhm.
and he puts it across and the kid's reading it and this guy in the Spectre green hoodie
Yeah, man.
and they pull him out of the pool because water is his kryptonite.
Yeah.
And then he's going and then he pushes it across, saves all these people, and then he looks up at his dad because he kept putting
Yep.
weights and weights on the bar, and then he's looking and the kid's going, like he does, he say, "Is it you?
Yeah.
You?" And he's going,
And he nods at him. Yeah.
and he's going, "Oh," and I'm just going, "Oh God, that is so cool."
Just such
Yeah.
a weird, underrated movie that came out of nowhere. It was like,
Well,
Then he wanted
Mercury
to shoot him,
Rising,
too.
Mercury Rising is another one where he has the autistic kid,
Mm.
and the kid is great. Have you ever seen Mercury Rising?
I've never
No.
seen
And
it.
Alec Baldwin is the villain who gets it in the end, which is the best part, really,
Right? Well, yeah.
because that man is a villain.
Baldwin?
There we go. That's the first Dark Side cover right there. It's the first time he appears.
So I'm very much into the Fourth World. I always, when it
Yeah.
first came out, I thought that it was his line. It's sort of like Carmen Infantino near the end, is that his line kind of got blousy and blown out a little bit, as opposed to that beautifully sculptured architectural look that Infantino had, and then he kind of got a little bit wowed and stuff like that. But the thing about Kirby is Kirby's stuff was always a little bit wowed. But then with this stuff, he actually just went that much further. And then when he did the last ones, he did like Bombast and all Speedball and those, which were really just, they were not really very good. They were something, but they were were not very good, I didn't think.
And you gotta be careful now because you're gonna upset Beckman when you say
3D
Speedball wasn't.
World or something like that. I have a 3D.
Yeah,
world.
it was some screwy deal.
Yeah.
We
In any
apologize
event,
to
I just
Beckman
thought-
that
Someone said Fourth World?
And they were like,
No.
I think
any comments and denigrating of Speedball has been noted and documented. Beckerman, we do apologize sincerely. Beckerman's a big Speedball guy.
Mr. Beckerman may be coming out to my neck of the woods for some kind of a card or something or another show. And I was going to ask him how things are going. But if he does come out, why, maybe I'm hoping that he will, pop over and say hi. And it would be fun to see him if he has occasion to come out here. So we'll see how that thing goes. But
That'd be awesome. That'd be really awesome. Beckerman ends up coming out. Let me see. Oh, I didn't know
no,
you
you don't have to make me big. That's all right.
Okay. See, are you still on vacation, Chris? No, I've been back to work for about a week and a half. So it's back to reality for me.
How did that feel getting back to work for the first couple days?
Not bad, because we went back Thursday and Friday first. So it was like, all right, 2 days, then right back off. So I'm like, perfect. And then this week was a full week, but oddly enough, I was, it's been such a long break for me that it's just like, it just like falling back into normal things. And really, I've had such a nice like reset that like things that normally will kind of get to be like annoying. I'm like, come on, like I'm just like, yeah, no problem. Yep. So I'm
you know what, Boston, I'm glad to hear you say it. I've been the same way. That's how I'm putting this year forward. I just want to do a reset and be less annoyed, especially the little things that shouldn't annoy me. It's like, why is that annoying me? That's stupid. Makes me a bad person. So.
Well, and that's the thing is like, it's just.
What are you shaking Are you shaking your broom at him from your front yard?
No,
you young kids were giving me a crap.
No, it's just one of those things where like it kind of does like just it seeps through
people, and all they want is deals, and all they want is to tell me lies, and they're like, I put gas in it. I'm like, I can tell you didn't put gas in it because I can read a gas meter, you damn moron. Just go put gas in the truck.
Now, Mr. Bleak, I can tell that customer service you're all about it.
Yeah, well, I'm actually very good at it, but not. Sometimes it gets really under my skin. These people.
Yep. So red is freezing at work, 20 degrees. Stay warm, my friend. Like that's a rough day being outside.
Yeah.
And that much in that cold. So
dude, I work mostly outside, so it's darn cold.
You work outside? How cold is it there outside there in St. Catharines?
Listen, American.
Yes. Yes. So, how are things in our 51st state? That's awfully nice of you. Just hold on to it for us for a while.
I got to tell you something. I bet you there's more Americans that want to be Canadians than Canadians that want to be Americans.
I want you to keep thinking that. I want you to keep thinking that.
In fact, I know that because there's it's 12% of Canadians said, yeah, that's fine. And there's at least, I don't know, 30 states that would say, yeah, we would love to be Canadian.
But you know, I will tell you this, that if we do take over Canada, we'll deal with Quebec. Okay? Quebec. Now, you guys all want to take care of, you want to get rid of Quebec, you want to get rid of those clowns, and we'll help you with that. We'll saw that sucker off and we'll shift it out and we'll float it off somewhere off of our other new acquisition, Greenland. And then we can have it up there, and then Trump will put a new hotel up on that, and it will be Trump Tower, Quebec, and then and no French spoken. So I think that these are good things. These are positive things that we want to help you.
A lot of pride for a crazy president, but I'm all right. That's fine.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on this whole conversation.
He's fucking that shit crazy, right?
Oh, I trust me, I didn't vote for him, but I'm just not gonna say anymore because I don't want Chris's stream to go down. They're listening.
All right,
I don't know.
I will banter about
if you guys have.
Day.
Do you guys have HBO Max at all?
I watch most of the stuff. What are you watching?
Oh, so I've watched it. I guess yesterday was a finale of Creature Commandos, and that was really good. That was really.
I've only watched up to episode 3 so far. I actually have to watch that still.
It's good. I mean, if that's the end of it, which I don't know if it is, because it was 7 episodes. And I think I'm pretty sure that's the ending of it, at least the way that it seemed. But it was good. I mean, good.
That's supposed to be the first of the James Gunn offering. I know he's done other things, but that's supposed to be like the true. This is the change of the DC universe, right? So like that's number 1, and then he's doing Superman, which will be coming out pretty soon, I would imagine.
I heard that was canceled.
Is it?
No, Batman was canceled because of script problems, and Pattinson is not going to be evidently Batman.
Good. That's perfect.
So they're rewriting, but I mean I know they're rewriting the script. They pushed it back a year, but the trailer for Superman dropped and it's very good.
I wonder why. I wonder if they pushed it back because Penguin was so good.
Hmm.
Penguin was brilliant. Penguin was one of the
Yeah.
best shows I've watched in a long time.
I would say that does seem to be a feasible thing where it's like, you know what, they like, because I said before, I was like, the issue that you have is if your villains are more interesting than the Batman and he's, you know, the main character, like you're gonna have to figure some things out.
Well, the villains are always better than
Yeah.
the heroes. I mean, that's just the way
Well-
it is. The villains do everything. The heroes
Yes,
just sort
no.
of walk around trying to figure out what end is up, and the villains have it all figured out. They got a plan. They
Yeah.
got a gang. They got everything figured out, and then the clodhopper hero comes in and manages to eke out a victory, and all those guys are doing all the bad stuff now.
Yeah, essentially, Batman's
Yeah.
very one-dimensional, where everything around him that happens is the thing that really drives the story. And then, of course, you got the hero element, which everybody loves.
They
Batman's
well, I'd
pretty.
say with that, what I mean by that is that like Pattinson's Batman, I mean his Batman as far as being Batman was
He was the
okay.
saddest
He was
Batman,
rough.
the saddest,
But it was
fucking
like-
saddest person on the planet. Alfred, Alfred, I don't
You're
know
right,
if I can-
K-pop. The villains make the heroes. It's
I don't know
true.
if I can tie my shoes, Alfred. I'm so sad. Maybe I'm just gonna
But-
stay in bed, Alfred.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, people did not fully embrace him as Batman, and I understand why they wouldn't.
He's the
But the
worst.
thing
I
is,
love the car chase. I loved the car chase. I loved
yeah.
the Road Warrior
Yeah.
Batmobile was rocking.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that is really cool. And as the Batman, I agree with Chris. I liked him as Batman. As Bruce Wayne, he sucked. As Bruce Wayne, he didn't have Bruce Wayne figured out at all. Whoever directed that, he didn't know anything as far as that goes. That was no good. But his Batman and his fight scenes were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Not very Batman like, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the world they created. I thought the world they created was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it was believable. I was like, okay, I'm in Gotham. I'm feeling the whole Gotham vibe.
Yeah.
Who was the
yeah.
Who was the Penguin? Who was the Penguin or whatever?
Colin Farrell.
The
Huh?
Penguin was Colin
Colin
Farrell, which is really
He
unbelievable.
was great. He says, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah.
It was great. I thought so. I agree with K-pop. The villains made it. You know, you have a great cast of villains. Michael Keaton was great as Batman, but Jack Nicholson was great as the Joker.
He was.
Yeah.
The Joker was phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely. And then of
Like,
course the Catwoman.
yeah,
you
Riddler,
got Danny
like,
DeVito.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
Yeah,
no
he-
talent there. No.
Child, and I didn't like that much.
Oh my
She doesn't
God.
need
They-
talent.
Still
She
my
just looks
Catwoman.
good.
Yeah.
Huh?
she's
I
still-
liked her in Lady Hawk with Rutger Hauer.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, she was.
I'll take her in that Catwoman outfit any day of the week. That was
Yeah,
some-
exactly.
some-
With
Well,
the canopy handy.
holy smokes, man! When she's
Christopher
on the bed
Walken,
licking her,
that
licking
guy?
her glove. My
yeah,
God.
Max.
Christopher
Yeah.
Walken is he's so you don't even have to hardly put makeup on him. He's a total Batman villain, sort of like Willem Dafoe as the
Oh,
Green
yeah.
Goblin. They don't even have to put makeup on him, and he is the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
His second attempt at Green Goblin was so good. His like the Spider-Man 4 or whatever, No Way Home or I'm Going Home
yeah.
or whatever the fuck the call whatever it's called. On
It
the
was
way
called
home.
was a multiverse.
He
That
was
Doctor
so
Strange.
good the second time playing Green
Messenger,
Goblin.
Vicky
It was
Vale.
unbelievable watching him. I loved it. I loved it. He stole the whole movie. He stole the movie
I'm
by
actually
far.
like he's what makes me excited for and I haven't seen it yet, but he's what makes me want to go see the Nosferatu movies. And like if he's in it, like you know, like he's another one who just like, you know, really like gets into his roles and does a good job. So it's just like Willem
Could you
Dafoe.
imagine him playing an old version of the Joker? Oh my god. Oh
That
my
would be good.
God.
That'd be good. He's got the
He
smile
would-
for it.
Yeah, oh, everything. He's got the eyes, all of it, like, and he would be scary as a Joker, because like if
He's scary no
laughing it
matter
up-
what he does.
Exactly. Could you imagine
Start
with that
have
makeup
him,
on?
have him like halfway through the picture, and then have him in like every so often show the back of like a wingback chair, and you can see the top of his head, and you hear some chuckling or something, and then they finally they kind of wheel the camera around in the front, and then there's Willem Dafoe as the Joker,
Oh
completely
yeah,
crazed. Oh man, that shake the
people would
foundations, man.
freak out.
A scene where he's like in a hospital or something and he's in comatose and then he gets up and takes oh my god, that would just blow people out of the water, man. People would freak out.
I think that if Hollywood would just do the characters as they're written, and let the heroes be the heroes and let the villains be the villains that they are, it will be so good. Don't monkey with it. That's the way to make it work. That's what made the first Batman movie so good, is that they didn't make him wham pow and stuff like that. And Michael Keaton was so good at that. When I first heard he was casted, I said, "Oh my God, the guy from Night Shift is going to be Batman."
See, when that happened,
and he kicked the role.
That was before the internet, and the internet went crazy because Michael Keaton was playing Batman. The internet wasn't even invented yet. The internet went insane. Like, that was very new. That was on major news. They were like, "Oh my God, Mr. Mom's playing Batman."
Well, because Siskel and Ebert were basically like that. The internet, they were like, "What are you doing? You're gonna put him, Mr. Mom, is gonna be Batman? Like, I don't understand this."
And now, arguably, people are like, "Please give us Michael Keaton back."
It's true. He's good. He is a better Batman than he is the Vulture. I will say that.
I like Christian Bale's Batman. I didn't mind Christian.
I liked his too. I liked his. Val Kilmer's wasn't too like I didn't hate it. George Clooney's was kind of weird, but
George wooden. It was
George
wooden.
Clooney was playing George Clooney. That was he was not Batman.
The thing is that when you have when it came to Michael Keaton, like he was able to show you more, because he's never really, like, he's always been like in comedies, you know what I mean, and like there's only certain spots where you kind of see him get serious, like even if you watch Mr. Mom, for the most part he's like joking around, but the part that he gets all serious about is when he's trying to get his job back. He's like, you know what, he's like, I worked hard for you, you fired me. He's like, you ever talk to my son like that again, I'm knocking you out. Plain and simple. And he just walked out and just like, whoa, he got real serious for a second. You know what I mean? It's like he had that range. It's like, whoa. And it's just the same thing with like, and I know, I'll say this much, Robin Williams is a much better actor, but Robin Williams had the same thing going on. People are like, oh, he's just funny. It's like, give him a serious role, watch what he does with it. Like and like, give him a scary role, he will scare the shit out of you.
No, he did not. He was in that stupid photographer movie, and it was awful. I don't care what anyone says. It was the worst not scary movie I've ever seen in my whole life.
Who was the lead actor? Who was the lead actor from Third Rock from the Sun? Who was the guy?
John
Lithgow.
Yeah, he's good.
Lithgow. Do you remember Alan Seuss, who was on Laugh-In? Alan Seuss.
I think so, yes.
Okay. He was the guy that had the round eyes and he'd roll his eyes and stuff like that. I watched him, I think it was on Letterman, and he actually was cast as Professor Moriarty against Sherlock Holmes. I can't remember who the Holmes was on Broadway. And Letterman says, "Can you do a little bit of a Moriarty for me?" He says, "Just a second." And then he basically took just a few seconds and he donned the persona of Professor Moriarty. It was the most startling to this day, I remember it, the most startling transformation from goofy Alan Seuss to Professor Moriarty. And Lithgow as a villain, with that one with the jetliners, and they're out killing people out on the wherever it was.
Oh my God!
Lithgow is a sociopath. He was so good.
Are you talking about the movie where they're mountain climbers, the Sylvester Stallone movie?
Yeah, and they I mean, it was just like, and were they looking for a jetliner that crashed with gold in it or something?
Yeah, they robbed a liner and they dumped the money out of the thing, and they were looking for it on the mountain or something. So it's sort
of a takeoff of the D.B. Cooper story.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually have a soft spot in my heart for Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I thought he was a good Riddler. I thought, like, as far as what we were going to have for the Riddler at the time, I thought he did a great job. It was cartoony, I know, but so was the movie. The movie was cartoony.
If you watch
it was George Clooney as Batman.
The beginning of that movie, when he's talking to his boss, like that's where he gives you a glimpse of that he can actually do a scary character, because like it's like at the he's like, and you know what, he's like, and now beyond that, Edward, you're fired. And then you see his face, and he he's like joking around, but then when he gets told he's fired, he gets real serious. He's just like,
Yeah, I
and
like
like, just the look he gives him before he says I don't think so and smiles at him was sinister. He was just like,
him and Two-Face. Two-Face, the guy that plays Two-Face.
yeah, Tommy Lee Jones sucked in that movie. I hate
Tommy
Yeah,
Lee
it was terrible.
hates Jim Carrey because of that role. He's like, Jim
Oh, yeah.
Carrey's an idiot. Jim Carrey's a goof. I'm like,
Meanwhile, he acted just like him in that movie. It was like, dude, like be something different. Like Two-Face has never been.
He ate his lunch on screen is why he's so bent out of shape. He looks like just like Bruce when he says, "How do you like that mole?" You know, I mean, when he was in,
Yeah.
you know, he really had it. But Two-Face, he was good as the F in The Fugitive with Harrison Ford.
yeah.
As he says,
Yeah.
I can tell you why I did that, and he's going, I don't care. Let's just go get you into jail, okay? I don't care about that.
Yeah,
He says,
yeah, he was good in
I
that
have
movie.
to do it.
Wasn't going
The
with our
sequel
fight.
to
Hey,
that was
wait a
really
minute.
good too. There was a sequel to U.S. Marshals, I think it was.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
With Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, very good movie.
Wait, guys, I gotta
Where
go.
is Wesley
I gotta go get
Snipes
my
out of
son,
Stir?
so-
You're taking off, Tat?
All right,
Yeah, I'm
Ted,
sorry. I gotta go get my son at 10 o'clock. He's at his
Oh.
girlfriend. So,
no problem, man. Thank you for
hey, man,
stopping in.
thanks for having me in, man. You guys take care. Have a good night.
You too.
Take care.
Yeah, you know, like there's a lot of you know, just when it comes to those hero movies, like there's a lot of ups and downs, and you know, this guy should have been that and that, but like I think you know,
It's all about
as far
casting.
as,
Man. It's all about casting.
yeah, but I think for right now, you know, like there's a lot of good spots that have happened as far as, and Creature Commandos is a very good, you know, I mean, even though like, and I know some people like animated versus live action, but it was really good. Like I would encourage anybody to watch it, and if like it's got its silly moments, but it also has some very very strong storytelling. And you know, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but it's just really good how they did it. And
No,
you know,
you've ruined it.
so that they really do make you look forward to season 2. So
The,
season 2,
as far as casting goes, that's why the original Marvel MCU was so successful. They cast those characters amazingly. Robert Downey Jr., the
Yeah.
Thor, all of everybody
think-
that they cast was so.
yeah, I don't share everybody's opinion with why things didn't go so hot and like, oh, superhero fatigue. That's all bullshit.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
called
that's
Good
Everybody-
movies are good
everybody-
movies, and bad movies are bad movies, and that's the
Exactly.
what it is.
You have that. You have
Entertain
that.
us.
No, and I can say that, but I think a lot of people, though, like a lot of people too, just hop on it's not Endgame train, and they wouldn't get off of it. And it's like, dude, some of these movies aren't as bad as you make them out to be, but it's not Endgame. Well, go fuck yourself.
Some of
You're
the
not
problem
getting,
is some of
you're
them
not
are
getting a culmination 10-year blockbuster every time they make a movie just because they made one. It's like, you know, that's not how it works. Like, you have to let them build the story again, and nobody wanted to give them a chance to do it. And that's one of the things that drove me nuts with that. It's like, dude, if they're making movies for us at this point in time, like the biggest movies that come out are for comic collectors and comic fans right now. And it's like, if you keep telling them, or if you keep protesting and having all this shit, and they're like, you know what, we don't need to do this crap anymore, we'll just call it a day and walk away. Like, don't be upset when
There's
Sleepless in
too
Seattle
much-
Part 7 comes out, because it's coming.
There's too much money in it, and that will, whether if the studios are not very brittle. In other words, if they can make
Hey,
money,
Kelly, what's up?
they'll do anything to make a movie. So if we yell and scream and we say it's crappy and everything else like that, and they're still making money, they'll continue
Yeah.
to make those movies
course.
until they don't make no money, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
once
that's
they,
the thing,
once
and
they
that's why
get
people are like, oh, boycott and don't go see it, and like don't watch this, and don't, like, because it was like there were people trying to say like, oh, don't go and see these, and you know, it's just like, okay, now if you keep on sitting there saying like we hate Marvel, we're not going to go see any of that stuff because we just don't like what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but
Go
once
ahead.
you get an example of a movie that actually resonates with people, which Marvel hasn't had one in a while, except for Wolverine and Deadpool.
Mhm.
Yeah. and
You will think that somebody will look at that and go, "Oh, we just made $1 billion in like a week. Maybe we should probably do more of this."
Well,
Well,
the thing
Star
is
Wars
that
is the
like
one that got me as far as how
Ah,
how that whole
ah.
string played out, and the one with the little Anakin kid and all that screwball and Jar Jar Binks and all that crap.
well
I was so willing to I could overlook almost anything for a while, but after a while, after the first three were so good that anyway.
Mm.
well, no, well, that's all because George Lucas. In a couple of different criticisms I can make on that one, George Lucas waited a long time to make those. Like had he made those, had he made first of all, I don't know if he would have made prequels had he decided to keep like let's say he decided to make movies in like starting in like '93 and then kind of go forward. I think he would have had to have seven, 8, and 9 ready to go. Just because I think if you went back to the older stuff, like if you went back to we're gonna do episodes 1, 2, and 3, people may not have responded to that as well. I mean, they still would have went and saw it. And but then the other thing too is like the reason it took so long is because he figured out he can keep selling you the same 3 movies
Oh my
over and
God.
over and over again, and that's just what he did. It's like,
He's
oh,
just
you guys
a
still want the same
marketing
movie 10 years later?
god. That's what he is. We're gonna
And
give it
it-
to you in HD. We're gonna give it to you in
Yeah.
HD plus plus plus. Now we're gonna
And-
sell you two together. Oh, now we have the
Yep.
3 sets together.
And it just so happened that technology, like the technology at the time, was perfect for him to keep doing that. Where it's like, all right, so now you have VHS, now we have DVD, now we have, and it just kept going. So it's just like, oh, I can keep reselling you all these movies and not have to make another one. And it was crazy.
If you get the first VHS, you get the painted cover one. Jesus.
Yeah. It's just it's all insane like how they did it, but and that's the thing is like that's why when Star Wars fans get upset about that type of stuff, it's like, look, man, I mean, and I get it, like people loved the 4, 5, and 6. Who didn't love the original trilogy? But the thing is though, it's just that like he figured out, and people should have been smarter about this when they re-releasing them.
As a huge Star Wars fan, I'm not completely upset with
No, but from where they started to
Yeah.
where they went and where they ended
Mhm.
is sort of was the thing that kind of got me. But I have to say that the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian
Yeah.
I enjoyed very much.
Yeah,
Andor
no, they were
was
good.
very good. I thought Andor was a great series.
Yeah.
The what is it? The Rebel, Rogue One was probably one of the best Star Wars movies in all of Star Wars. Not just like that. I put that next to Empire Strikes Back. In reality, yeah, that's a great Star Wars movie.
I wouldn't put it up that high, but that's just me.
Well, it goes
I liked it. I think it wasn't.
Empire,
liked it, but-
Star Wars, Rogue One, and then the one with the Muppets beating up the Empire, which was ridiculous, but
Return
whatever.
of the Jedi.
Yeah, the one with all those stupid
I
teddy
like
bears
Return of the
beating
I
up
loved
people.
watching them putting him into fast action and Yoda spinning so quickly and stuff like that. That's the animated one. That animation one that they did is actually it's like the one with all the clones and all that other stuff, and they have the robots.
Those are great.
I enjoy those shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they were
Lord
very good.
Doku, and it's like they give you just a tiny snapshot. You only get a little bit of action, but you want to talk about binge watching? That is a great binge watch.
Yeah,
Are those Star Wars
absolutely.
cartoons?
Oh my
Yes.
God, I haven't watched
Yeah, they were
Droid.
very good. I remember the ones they did. The ones they did. It was in between episode 2 and 3, and and I remember they were on Cartoon Network, and they were done really well. And it was like, oh, like they're not gonna show people die, and they did. They you had death of characters, you had all kinds of stuff happening. And I was like, wow, this is pretty insane how they went about this. And
If you're a Star Wars fan, oddly expensive comics are those Droids comics, the ones that were
yes,
from the cartoon series.
yeah, because
Oddly expensive.
yeah, everything like trust me, they built something that is just a cash cow forever, and it's just like, and really, to be honest with you, they didn't really have to do much more than just release the same 3 movies over. Like if they never put any other movies out, they could have just had them like, we just have the same 3 for you over and over, and like we'll keep, as technology evolves, you'll keep buying them because we know this. We've seen you do it like 10 times. So
People got pretty pissed
Streaming
off.
would have killed it though.
People got pretty
Streaming-
pissed off when he changed the fact that Han didn't shoot first. We all know Han shot.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's other, like he started changing things around, and that was, some people got upset, but they didn't really, no one really was like, it didn't stop people from still buying them because But the thing is that he must have had an inkling or a knowledge that streaming was coming, and that's when he stopped. It's like, all right, I gotta make new stuff, because like once you could stream, like now, I can get these on a streaming platform as much as I want. I don't have to keep buying the same
The problem
updated
with
physical.
George Lucas though was everybody, if you have his name attached to anything, everybody wants it to be Star Wars. His first real big project, it just blew up so much that he couldn't create anything else, because
Yeah.
like he's been on other movies before and people were like, "Nah, get this fucking shit
Yeah.
out of here. We want Star Wars." That's what people want from George Lucas.
Well, you have to say that if if Frank Sinatra is going to go on stage and sing, you want him to sing "I Did It My Way." You don't want him singing "Tiptoe Through the Tulips."
Exactly.
I said, I'm sorry. I know that you're going on in a different direction, Frank, but we don't want that direction.
That poor guy died on stage, actually, didn't he? Tiptoe through the tulips.
Oh, Tiny Tim.
Yeah, didn't he?
He
I think
might
he died of like a heart attack on stage.
Yeah, he had a heart attack on stage. Yep. But I mean, with what Steppa was saying about and I completely understand. That's what you want him to do. And the thing is, like the reason why it was as popular as it was, and why it did what it did, is because nobody, that was something that you had never seen done that well in that way before, and it was just like, this is incredible. I mean, lightsabers alone.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is incredible.
There's
Well,
only
the whole thing about Star Wars too was that they borrowed so extensively from everything and just made it their own. It was every Western you ever saw with a space thing, and then they did Dune with the worms, with the pit down below, and Boba Fett. Everything is Boba Fett so wonderful. Help, in the movie, Boba Fett looked at someone, fell into the pit, and got eaten, and that's all he did. And then everyone's going, "Oh, Boba Fett, Boba Fett."
Well, you know why?
He was
Honestly,
the highest
I can
selling
tell you
toy.
why he has the. I can tell you why he has the credit that he does, the street cred that he got, and it's for a couple of scenes, which is he basically stands up to Vader. Like Vader tells him, like, don't do this or whatever. Like he's like, no disintegrations. He's like, I work the way I want to work. And then when he's just like put him in the pit. He's like, we're gonna test it on Han Solo. He's like, he ain't worth anything to me dead. He's like, you'll be compensated. He's like, I better be. So he just in a galaxy where everyone's terrified of this man, he's straight up talking shit to him. Like, look, man, I'm not afraid of you. I will shoot you right in the face. I don't care nothing about your little wizardry. And it was just like that's why everyone was like, oh, like he's the man. Like, look at him.
I love it. If you've seen the spoof where they've got Vader playing golf and he hits it up onto the green and then he uses the Force to put it in, and then one guy says, "Hey, you're cheating," and then he goes, "Oh," and he goes like this, and the guy, because he called him out on cheating at golf with the Force. I thought that was hysterical. But the thing was that there's a guy that parlayed like 10, maybe 8, 9 minutes total screen time.
Oh yeah.
Into this everyone wants Boba Fett, into a series of Boba Fett and Boba Fett this and that, and but I like the story of I like the story of the Mandalorians better. This Is the Way and all that other good stuff that they had, and the gals, and I like the armorer that was the one that was making all the armor, and then getting the special ingots of Schmidlap that they did to make the armor, or whatever that stuff is called.
Yep.
The only reason they kept writing Boba Fett in is because he was the highest selling toy that they had.
Oh, is that so? Now that does make sense.
Yeah.
That is literally
That does make sense. Okay, now I understand. Now you hit it right there.
Yeah, there's that, and then the fact that he kind of got in Vader's face and didn't take any of his shit. So
people gravitate.
You like that? Do you have
people,
listen, Chris? Do you have a domineering boss or something? I mean, you want to tell?
I've had them in the past. I've had them in.
I'm hearing something other than Boba Fett here somehow.
No. Like I actually, like, my boss is actually one of the nicest people I've ever had. Like actually, my current boss is one of the best bosses I've ever had in my life. She's awesome. But like when it comes to when it comes to that it's just like it is kind of something where it's just like, you know, everybody in this room is scared of this guy, but like no, this one guy is like, nope, I'm not, like, look, I need this guy intact to get paid, so like don't mess up my thing, okay?
If we can
And
all
he's
just get Kathleen Kennedy out of Star Wars would be a much better place. Just
well, the
let's
thing is,
I
yeah,
agree
like, the Doc was
completely.
unchecked.
just
I
get
agree.
that. Let's
That
get
was
that girl.
DEI. That was DEI.
Yeah,
Well, she
let's
was
just
no,
get
she's
her
been
done.
there forever.
I know.
She's
It was
she's been
awful.
in Lucas forever. It's just that like, you know, he was able to overrule her, and that's the thing, is that like now that she's kind of on her own, and I think even now she's kind of been scaled back a little bit, because they'd be like, look, you're fucking this up. I mean, this should be a slam dunk every time, and you're getting too involved, and whatever magic you had in the 80s, we all know it was, you know,
It
so
was.
you-
It's too.
that
She's
hipsters.
using it as a cause. She's using it as part of a cause. It's like the
Yeah.
second Wonder Woman movie, where it's beautifully, artistically, visually was very startling, but the
Yeah.
plot and everything else, I can't remember
Story
who
was
it was that
terrible.
was in charge of that. They fouled it up.
We
Yeah.
got hipsters in Star Wars. Boba Fett. We got hipsters that told Boba Fett what to do. Yo, we drive these bikes with lights on them, and we all drink cool
Oh,
Starbucks coffee.
Boy, was that bad.
So bad. It was so bad.
And they spent $75.82 on the special effects for the bikes because they didn't show them running at all.
It was
Did you
so
notice that?
bad. Yeah, it was the worst. It was so bad.
I liked Mrs. The Mrs. Slug, or it was
Oh yeah, yeah, that was good.
it was who's the guy who's
Jabba, Mrs. Jabba.
Yeah, Mrs. Jabba and Mrs. Jabba coming into town, and they're being carried in, and stuff. I thought that was good. I also thought that the gunslinger taking out that cool guy, I can't think of what his name is. The guy.
Cad Bane was very good.
Yeah, don't take out the good guy. I guess he'll be back. Maybe, I don't know, but
they better
I mean,
have him back. He's one of the coolest characters they've.
He was
Yeah, no,
wonderful. I like
I
that.
don't think he died. He was hurt real bad, but he's not dead. He's just
They
kind of.
better have Cad Bane come back.
Yeah.
And again,
He was
that's
from
what
the books.
that's what Disney's done though. They've been like, okay, there's no these Dark Horse books are not canon, and then they're like, oh, but except for maybe Cad Bane, he's canon. So like a lot of things that
Because
were in
he's
Dark,
he's canon, all right.
they just keep stealing shit from Dark Horse that they've said isn't canon. So they pissed off Star Wars when they bought it. They pissed off all the fans, and this isn't canon anymore. And then they keep stealing stuff from stuff that they say isn't canon. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they don't have, where it's just like you have, like there's supposed to be more, like Han and Leia have more children. Luke has more children. Mara Jade was in the books, but then she's also in the comics too. And it's just like, so it's like there's a lot of stuff that they didn't do. Like Luke never got married, none of that crap. And
I would love to see Timothy Zahn's books on screen. The trilogy after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Those books.
They said that that's not. I mean, I think they tried to bring out some of that in what was it in Ahsoka's thing?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
kind of. But I mean, who knows what's gonna happen with that if they're gonna get another season out of it?
Was that Rosario Dawson? Was the gal that played it? I don't know why she's so down on that character. She all they're doing is giving her as much money as she can carry. And she just didn't seem to embrace the role. She sort of sleptwalked through it. I liked her when she went in and was, doing the stuff. And then when they had the CGI Luke, a younger Luke with Grogu and stuff like that. Yeah. And the fact that he decided not to do it and ended up back with the Mandalorian and going to see the nice woman on that planet with the little robots to fix the ship, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. It was well done, I thought.
That has a real good that whole show has a very good Star Wars feel to it. It makes you feel like you're watching Star Wars.
You feel you can identify with the characters and the nobility of the robot, the nobility of the robot that was a killer, that was reprogrammed, that sacrificed itself and everything, selflessness and stuff. I mean, maybe I'm a sucker for that, but I like that stuff. It's good storytelling.
Good secondary cast, like that girl that fixes all the ships and stuff. Like all of that stuff is really good, and they do a good. Well, that's because that's done by Jon Favreau too. Or I think started to be done by Jon Favreau. It's done by other people now. The first season was definitely Jon, and then now they sort of do like a director per episode or something silly like that. But because apparently John's too busy, but he was very good for it. He's give me him. Like, he's the one that did Iron Man. He's the one that did Mandalorian. He's obviously one of us. He knows what we want to watch. So give that guy some reins.
Well, I would say that if Mr. Gunn wanted to bring him in and work with him, it would be awfully nice, like Spielberg and Lucas together.
No, he's a Marvel guy. He's not going anywhere.
Let's see. So I have actually an unboxing to do. So I did get something in that one.
Boston, before you do that, I do apologize. It's 1 a.m. where I'm at, and I do have to go to bed because I got to wake up for the market tomorrow, and I got to be up in about 6 hours.
I confess I am fading too, Chris. Please save and open it tomorrow at church.
I think I'd do it here. I'll show it again. Like, I have no problem with that.
All right.
But
I'm sorry, Boston. I love you, but I do have to go, my man.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll probably do this and then, end up shutting down, within the next, I'd say probably like half hour or so.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.
I'll watch it.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See you, Steppo. Oh, geez, he's a quick mover.
Yep. All right. See you tomorrow.
Cheers, man. Bye.
Take it easy. So this that I have here is, hold on, let me get it open. I won't be reusing this box or anything because I'm destroying it. So we got ourselves a book that was given to me by a good friend who saw something that was on my 2025 list and decided that he's going to help me out with it. And so this is the first official book coming off of my list for this year, and I can't thank him enough. So this is sent to me by the Tone, or Tony Sanders, for this year, and he was made it known that he's going to help me out with this. And so my first book off of the list for this year is none other than Fantastic Four 52, first Black Panther. So I now have a Black Panther. I never owned one before, which is just incredible. I'm so excited to actually have this. So there we go, starting it off right. Got a big book off the list, one that I am just excited to have, and one that I have to, really can't say enough about. Just Tone blindsided me when he told me he's gonna send this to me, which was awesome. I just was like so excited, and just really, really excited about that. So, Tony, thank you again. I know you're at the convention, hanging out with Houdat, and just having a blast in New Orleans. So, thank you again, Tony. This is a great, great, great addition to my collection. One that I am just super excited to have. One that again, another book that I didn't think I would ever actually end up owning, and now I do. So, woo to me. So let's do it. Let's make it official. Find my Shopee. There it is. So let's go to the list. So here we go. There's the list right there, and that monstrous list I have, and then Fantastic Four 52 gone. Boom. First one off. So there's so many books on there that I definitely won't get them all. I know that. Not this year, but that's why it's 2025 and beyond. So now my OCD will kick in. So I gotta go ahead and roll all these bubble wraps up. And then who knows, if you guys end up buying a book from me or something like that, I have the supply. So it's kind of a double whammy. So I got my hunt bonus. Yeah, I guess this is just Tony let me know that he was gonna hook me up with that book, so I'm super excited that I actually was able to get it, and to me that's incredible. I was really just kind of curious, like with my list. 'Cause there's so many books that, like, where would I start? What would I do? And so this is just, really just a fun thing to have. And it just makes me happy that, to have friends in the community that, can come up through and help out sometimes. So thank you again, Tony. That was just amazing. And I know that as far as the rest of the year, like, books I really want to get, I did do a list about that, I think, on New Year's Eve, trying to put them into categories and figuring out which ones. But I'm gonna try to see what I can score at Heroes and Terrificon, and just kind of take my time, slow and steady wins the race, always with collecting. So hopefully come back with some really, really cool stuff from both of those shows. But if not, you know what? I shouldn't say if not. If not, coming back with a top 2025 book, I will definitely come back with some awesome stuff from both of those shows, just because it's just fun, and I'm looking forward to meeting up and hanging out with everybody that is going to go to those shows. Thank you, Bleak. Like that just is something that is great to start the new year off with. So super excited for that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Actually, I can show you these too. And I won't show them all, but just because it's a whole big thing. But I did end up picking up these Marvel Masterpiece cards. So you've heard me talk about these before, like the Marvel Masterpiece. This is a series 1. So the only ones that aren't in that series is the was it the holograms and stuff. But these are the ones that I like. When I talked about them, I told the stories about how back in the days, these caused many fights amongst my classmates and stuff. At recess, people would sit there and just brutalize each other over them, because people used to bet them at different times. So it'd be like, oh, kickball, my team will beat your team, and then I bet you this card. Okay, well, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm not giving you that card. Like you guys cheated on this, and then all of a sudden, fight breaks out, and it was just hilarious. So I actually finally have them, and I remember having, I think the only ones I actually had was Black Cat, and I had a Beast, because they were like $2 a pack, and this is back in '92 or so. And my mother at the time was just like, $2 for a pack of cards. No, that's not happening, because cards were like maybe like $1.50. Oh, actually, they're probably like a dollar or something like that. But those, because they were nicer, were like $2, and so it was like, I'm not getting one of those. So if I got lucky and got one, I got one. But we got another guy in the back, another guest. We'll go ahead and give him a. So we got.
I'm a new challenger.
Yes, a new
All right.
challenger.
You was talking about those cards. I don't know how many seasons that I paid my nephews off with comic cards to rake the apples up underneath my trees. They love those cards.
Where were you when I was in the 3rd grade and people were getting beaten over and over again because they wouldn't come through on their bets or whatever, or somebody caught somebody trying to sneak them out their binder or something like that? Like, where were you with the apples? And we you could have been paying us off in cards, we could have been fine, but nope. There's many a fight over those. And
yeah. I had 4 apple trees, and I'd make seasoning out of the apples. I'd take and peel them and decor them. I got a machine that does it, and I would cut them all up and dehydrate them and make apple powder out of them, and use the apple powder on everything. And
there you go.
yeah, and I'd do as many as I could do, and I tried to can them once and make apple preserves. They didn't work out too well. But I quit after that time. But yeah, all the apples are falling off the tree, and if you don't rake those apples up, they start gathering flies and rotting. And I get them all wrapped up and put them in the compost and use them in my garden after they decomposed, and make great fertilizer.
Oh yeah. No, I know all about that. Like going to the apple orchards and stuff, apple picking as a kid. Like depending on how long the apples were there, you'd have, like you said, flies and bees and things like that. So it would get to be kind of a crazy thing. But Yeah, it's just I was definitely excited to pick those up, just because I never owned a whole set of them before, so now I do. And then speaking of things I never owned before, I show the I, I don't know if you saw, but I was crossing the book off my list that I got. Tony actually sent me this, as just like an act of kindness, because he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna help you out with a book off your list. So the king has returned.
Oh yeah, there you
The
go.
king has arrived. He never came in the first place. So I got him. He's right here.
That's the
So
first
yeah.
Black Panther.
Yep. So definitely a great way to start off that top book list. So there it is. Got my first.
Yeah,
Black Panther.
I'm still working on my Tales to Astonish #2. The guy won't come
Mhm.
down. And
Yeah,
it's graded
it's
at I think a 6.5. So
Mm.
I'm working on it. He's asking
Well,
about $500 too much, and I'm stuck on the number, and he's stuck on a number, and we've already come closer,
yeah,
but
back
now
and
it's
forth.
boom boom. I said, well,
Yeah.
I'll do this much more, and he goes, nope. This much more, nope. And I'm like,
Well, I wonder. I mean, maybe he thinks he has some other interest, and he's like, oh, well, like I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean?
it.
And it's just like the
It's a
stalemate.
comic shop. It's a comic shop that's down South Texas.
Yeah.
I got wind that he had one, and I need a #2 and a #1 for sure. That's my
Yeah.
my what do you call it? On
Fill
my
your run.
list for this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my
Well,
list
that's
this
good
year to get
stuff.
1 and 2 because I already got Tales of Suspense 1 and 2. Now I just want to Astonish.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah. I mean, they're good stuff, man. They're good books, and it's just sometimes trying to find, especially when you say it's a 6.5, it's just high grade, for that age. It's sometimes it's tough. It's tough to get people to budge off of those prices, but like anything else, I say slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race, man. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, this is the second one I've come across, and this one is a
Oh,
better grade. The
so
other one was
so
a 5. I think it was a 5 or 5.5, I think. And he's got it priced as a 7.0 or a 7.5. And I said, no. And he said, well, that's what 6.5s are going for. I said, well, your retail business, that's what they're going for. But,
yeah. Well, Callie actually did a little research for you on eBay, and he said there's a 4.0 and a 1.8 on eBay, $395 for the 4.0, and $215 for the 1.8. Now, uh, the reason that Splash is shaking his head is because Splash refuses to do any sort of online transaction. He does have a guy that he's got that orders through Amazon for him, so maybe he could talk him into like doing this eBay purchase for him to make sure that it's done securely and well. But I mean, if you really
well,
want one, they are there. You just gotta,
well, with that,
try a different avenue.
with that Tales to Astonish #2, I want to at least get above a 5.0 and
Okay.
everything because I don't want to have to go back out and look for those books because those 5.0, maybe 6.0 and up are getting, I don't see too many of those.
Well,
And,
yeah.
I just want a higher grade. That way I ain't got to go challenge and try to find another one. That way I can work on my
Well,
3,
let me
4, 5, and all those other ones
let
and
me ask you a
kind of
question,
get
Splash,
those.
and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I'm just gonna ask: have you tried maybe offering this man a trade? Because you have plenty of books that you have doubles of that you could easily say, hey, look, how about I give you these as trade for, and then maybe see if like either he'll take them straight up, or if and let's say I throw in a couple $100 with these books.
He says a 4.0 and a 1.8 equals a 5.8. I wish it worked
There
that
you
way.
go.
No,
Buy them
I
both.
mean, I have a hard enough time giving away these books and these dadgum giveaways that I'm doing. I mean, you know how long I would never. Well, I have giveaway books before and everything, but not as many as I've been giving away during these drawings and everything that I'm doing. But no, I just no.
Yeah,
I,
so the
I
problem with the drawings is that you don't pull my name out, so I
well,
can't
I'm
really go ahead
sorry.
and say, well, oh, I completely understand what's going on. I'm just kind of like waiting for my name to be pulled, and you just kind of refuse to do that. So, when
It's
are you
the
gonna do the
luck
right
of the
thing?
draw. I mean, the luck of the draw.
Well,
I
you know
mean, I
what?
can't pick. pick who I want to win. That wouldn't be fair.
Well, here's what you do: you spin around, you feel around for something that looks like something, whether it says B or C. You feel around and like, all right, here we go. Like do a long swirl in the bucket, and then just like, all right, here we go. This is the one.
Well, I really can't tell what it says on the card.
Because I mean, I mean, you want to get rid of stuff, and you're trying to, go ahead. Well, you don't want, but you're in the process of getting rid of some things, and it's just like, that there's nothing better than sending it over there. And I could definitely use a Lou Ferrigno signed early Hulk. I just don't know what the holdup is.
Yeah, well,
what's funny
I don't know what to tell you.
I saw him at a convention not too long ago, and it was just like one of those things where I think he had just gotten there, so nobody had come to see him right away. But like I was like actually surprised. Like, he's still pretty big. He's not as big as he once was, but he's still a pretty big guy. And but because I'm pretty sure like I saw him at the show for as he was just kind of like he's just sitting there kind of by himself. And then I think people got wind of, or people like knew that he's actually here, because then I went back over that way and there was just like the line was humongous. But people the original Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, so people would definitely go ahead and try to get a chance to meet him.
I had a long talk with him. He was there at our local LCS, and there was, the line wasn't constant all the time. You'd get 5, 6, 8 people in there, then they'd clear out, and it'd be 30 minutes later, you get a couple of more people come in. And I was there, and I was sitting there talking to him and everything, and I had a nice conversation. I didn't realize how I remembered that he was hard of hearing, but I didn't realize how hard of hearing he was. And yeah, we had a nice long conversation. He signed a bunch of my stuff, and he didn't charge me. I mean, I got my money's worth. Let's put it that way. And that Hulk that I got signed, that early Hulk. I mean, it's an awesome book. But I already got a upgrade of that book, so I went ahead and I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and get rid of it, even though his signature's on it. But I got some other Hulk magazines that he signed. The one that has the interview with him in the TV series. I did an interview and has a picture of him. I got him to sign a couple of those, and got him to sign a what was it, a 102. I went ahead and got him to sign that one too. Since I had two of those, I got him to sign a 102. And yeah, he's a real nice guy. Real nice guy.
Yeah, that's what everyone said. Like he's actually a really nice guy.
And it was a lot more relaxed at that LCS than it was at a show, because
his thousands of people at a show.
Handler, I guess you call him, he just sit over there and kind of just
let him do his
chilled
thing.
out.
Yeah. Callie has a suggestion for you. Says, I bet you could trade that Hulk for the Tales to Astonish. Screw the subscribers.
No, I've already promised that. If I trade that and I don't give that away, there are going to be some people in a lynching mob come get me. Yeah,
I don't think I don't think they'd come and get you. I think they'd kick down your barn door and just take your comments. Like, you know what? I'm getting my reparation. I want one of those X-Men ones you have stashed away somewhere.
Well, a lot of that stuff is fixing to all head back to the bank. I've had it here long enough. It's fixing to all go back. So it'll be put up, and I probably won't get them out for a long time now, because they've been here for a while, and they need to go back in the bank.
Once you put them in the bank, then you can keep them there, and then you don't have to take them out until, I mean, you probably don't have to take them out at any point unless you're planning on selling them.
Yeah, they'll go back in the bank, and
keep them in the vault. Let them stay there.
Yeah,
so that'd be cool. But, I thought the X-Men one you already had in a box. Like, you had a box at home. Like, you talking about that AF-15 that you showed way back whenever on the hunt? You haven't brought that back to the bank yet?
Well, it's on and off a couple of times. It's been here for a while. I got a vault here that they get stored in too. I mean, but it's a fireproof vault, or a safe, I should say, a big safe, stand-up safe, and they all go in there. But I'm just more comfortable with it at the bank and everything.
Yeah.
So, but all there's a lot of those books. All my number ones will probably end up going back in the bank in my 83s, both of my Journey and Mystery 83s.
Oh yes.
And they'll all go back in there.
I definitely think that that's something that like I don't hear that often, that people put them into safety deposit box in the bank. But I mean, it makes sense though. It's definitely a good place to put them if you have the ability to have them in there. And I mean, and I know every bank's different. So I mean, do they charge you like monthly for that, or is that just kind of
by the year? It's a small bank, and I think it's $24 a year.
Oh wow, yeah.
For a big box. It's one that I had to wait. I had to wait 5 years to get a big box and everything. Okay. One of the big stand up where the books will stand up in there straight up. Mm-hmm. I had the medium box where they had to lay down, and the boxes are kind of long. Yeah. And everything. Now I got one that they'll stand up in there. Of course, I'm paying for it anyway because I got other stuff in there.
But, that's definitely worth it then. $21 a year.
I mean, it's the box is big enough to put a short box in there.
Nice.
So, and it'll probably hold a short box and a half in there.
Oh.
So.
Splash.
But I had to wait until someone died to get that box.
Wow, that's morbid, but yeah.
Well, morbid, but because I put my name on the list, and finally they called me.
Is he dead yet? Is he dead yet? Can I have his box?
Well, I didn't know whose boxes they were. They didn't tell me that. They said we have an opening. Yeah, they said we have an opening, and I was like, oh, because it's a local bank, and I said, oh, okay, well, I'll be up there. Save that for me, and it just so happens. A person passed away in this town that I knew that passed away. Then the box come open, so I'm kind of thinking that that's the family went out and cleared out the box. And
Flash was sitting there, and he was just at the guy's hospital bed, just like, if I can pull this plug and get out of here without anybody knowing, that box is mine.
It took me a while to wait for it. I just kept paying for the $12 a year box and everything. And finally it opened up, and I moved everything over and gave up that box. And I'm sure somebody was waiting on that box because they were all full. So somebody was waiting on the medium box.
The cop showed up.
And I got my name. I got my name on another large box up there, and it's been up there for maybe a little over a year, waiting on another large box to come open. So they'll be $48 a year.
Yeah, they probably want to question like we all know what happened to Mr. Davis, and we want to hear from you exactly what you did. And Splash just said like this:
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pleading the fifth on them. Like, I have nothing to do with that.
See, I need to get these clips. I got one of those stream boxes and everything, or those that you just push the button and it's Stream Deck. And I got it all hooked up over there, and I don't know how to load and put clips on it.
Well, I mean, I can't help you with loading and putting. Well, actually, I mean, you can put them right in the StreamYard, like, and then really.
Yeah, but this will hold like 256 clips.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how many StreamYard will hold, but like you can. I mean, you can put them directly on StreamYard.
And but you got to run the mouse. This you just punch a button, it lights up. It's pretty sharp, but I read the book, but I'm still confused on how to do it. And plus, I got to go down and start downloading some of those little clips. And
like, so
I don't know.
There's a program called Bandicam, which I think like for a lifetime license is like $25, and then you can just basically just go onto YouTube and find a clip and then just like.
Oh, I got a my editing tool has a clip that I can clip in there, and I can move it around. I can slow it down, speed it up. Make the picture out clearer or blurry. I can do anything. I can put a blur over a face, and and I can do all sorts of stuff with my editing stuff.
Yeah, this is a little different. Like this just basically lets you just like take from basically just clip out whatever you want out of it, and then you can bring it into an editing software and do all that with it.
Yeah, this one has a multicam capture, screen capture, fast flick. It has a whole bunch of stuff on it. It has Adobe Shop. It has a whole bunch of stuff on there, and I can even convert files. The VLC media player, convert them to JPEG from the stuff that the internet won't let you copy. Then it'll show up a URL. You just run it through there, and it'll let you copy the stuff. And yeah,
Well,
I'm good at that, but
okay. Well,
it's
at least you
just
got that
other
down.
stuff I'm not good at.
Well, as long as there's nothing but time. You sit there and just study and figure out how to get all that to work on that little box that you have, and then there you go.
Yeah,
But until that
yeah,
time,
it's
envying other people.
it's like I used to be able to make real good thumbnails, but I haven't done it in like 2, 3 years. And now
Oh,
I'm in there, and every time I make my thumbnail and go over to StreamYard, it's got that little thing that slides up and down to center it and everything.
yeah,
Well, my thumbnail is too big, and
yeah.
I
Because
had a
StreamYard
hard
uses
time.
different dimensions. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
so
I don't know if
K-pop's
it's
helped me out. I got the dimensions down and the DPI and all that, and I wrote it all down here, and I just
yeah.
basically saved it on Adobe and left a blank. That way, when I go in to make it, I just pull up, open that blank, then make it, and it all fits. But now I'm having a problem, like when I blow it up, some of it's getting blurry, and I got to figure out how to,
Well, yeah, just
you
because,
know,
like, yeah, like I understand all that type of stuff. So there's a lot that goes in with that. You have to basically, the reason why is because it's distorting because you're making it bigger than the actual aspect ratio, and then when you make it bigger, then because the image
pixels.
is
It has
a
something to
smaller
do with the
size,
pixels. I
how
need to
easily it's
increase the
gonna mess up.
pixels, make the pixels smaller when I blow it up, and
So,
I just haven't figured out how to do that yet.
well, the thing is that like
Uh-oh.
there's a bunch of stuff, but it's just like just if you go online and look at some tutorials, they'll tell you what to do, and
Yeah, I just hadn't had time to do it. There was
yeah,
one tutorial that helped me out do all my dadgum ones that I did back when I was doing the alien stuff and the spinner rack rants. Those thumbnails I really enjoyed, and I gotta find that YouTube video on how to do that, and I just don't remember what it was and
Splash's
everything.
Dadgum. That's actually, I'm telling you, you need to make a product called Splash's Dadgum or Mr. White Glove's Dadgum, and just have a picture of
Yeah.
you being a dad and just putting gum. It'll work.
I'm a lot of dadgum, I tell you that right now. Oh, my candle finally melted.
So
There we
I
go.
actually, I had mentioned earlier at the start of my show about there's a game that I found recently. If you like beat 'em ups, it's actually really 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 cool. And so it's through this the name of the engine is called Open BOR. So it stands for Open Beta Rage. And so if you download that, like there's a bunch of Beats of Rage. So there's a bunch of Beats of Rage. Basically, it's an engine that like lets you use like I guess like 2D. Lets you basically turn 2D games into new stuff. So you can basically take you know practically anything and make it into like a 2D like beat 'em up like kind of like Final Fight or Streets of Rage or any of that type of stuff from back in the day. So and it's really cool. So they made one that's it's like this Marvel one called Infinity War, and it has I have to say I think like 70 different characters with different powers, different things, and you can be all these different characters throughout, and they have their own storyline that goes on to the main game. But then they let you play some of the classic games. So you can play through like all a few of the classic arcade games as these characters, and then just kind of like relive some of the stuff. And they have like new imagined bosses and stuff like that. So it's really really cool, and I would recommend
Well,
anyone to get it. And the
I had bought one of these, or I didn't buy it. My nephew gave me one of these. It's a box that plays like 50,000 games, the old
oh
games,
yeah yeah yeah
and it
yeah
has the the Nintendo with the the little thing with the red buttons on it and everything.
yeah
And because I wanted to play Centipede and Pac-Man, all the old stuff, Defender and all that,
hmm
and my right hand still it's messed up, and I couldn't push the buttons like I used to because I can't feel the buttons, and I
yeah
finally gave up on that. And I just because any of the graphic games that are played on the new games like the PlayStation, like they stream on YouTube, I can't watch because the flick rate is so daggum fast that I'll end up getting a headache, is what I'll end up doing. and I just can't watch that.
Well,
I just don't do that.
Well, this you don't have to do that at all. Like this is just basically, something that you can download directly on your computer. It's 100% for free. It's fan made stuff, so people that just understand about how to use that game engine and everything and create it all. Just make these games, and they're really, really good at it. Like this one was awesome. They also have a Batman one. They have a DC one, but they have a Batman one that I guess is really in depth and everything too. So it's just like it's pretty cool.
So you're making games?
Yeah, no, they made a game that you can go.
So you're making video games?
Well, I'm not making them. Somebody else made it, but yes, people made a video game.
So you're playing video games?
Yeah, I will. Oh, yeah, I'm playing this game. It's awesome.
The only thing now that I know that I've played that I can play real good and because of I'll use a popsicle stick is the big coin arcade games. With my hand the way it is, I can sit there and I can use the joystick like this, and go like this, or if it's the opposite way, I'll go like this and use a popsicle stick. I can do that. Yeah. So I'm looking at buying a couple of why is that light over there on? Something moved over there. What's moving over there? My security light's on over here.
Oh, well, hopefully this isn't going to be anything bad because we don't want that.
Oh no, it's the heater. Come on, it's blowing my curtain over there, which caused the light to come on. But it's I'm looking at buying Defender and Centipede and let me see, Defender, Centipede, maybe Pac-Man. And Galaga. I mean, those are the four that I really, really love. And right now they got them up at Kansas City that are original. And
you're talking about buying the arcade cabinets?
Yes, the whole cabinets, the coin operated, the originals, and they run about $2,200. And this place in Kansas City redoes them, and they get a little bit cheaper if they took the CRT out, which is the tube type cathode. And they put the flat screen in there, but if I was going to buy them, I want the original with the old CRT in there.
Yeah.
But I've thought about taking a pickup in a trailer and going up there and getting a couple of them, but I just ain't never done it. I've put it off, and I'm just like, I'd rather buy a comic book or two or three or four.
Yeah.
Spend about $4,000 or $5,000.
This is the guy's YouTube, so I'll put that in the chat right now. So the way we can go and see the stuff that he created or helped create, but like just to give an example of some of that stuff. So he
I see what you're saying, that one you clicked on.
So he made this game and PC game that he and it's arcadey looking thing. This one is pretty in depth.
Now I can barely hear you over the music.
No evil shall escape my sight.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get into them much anymore. Much of the video games. That is video games. Yeah, I don't know. The graphics on them is real clear. I like the graphics, the old-timey clear graphics. So
he has.
So what happened to old Bleeker? He pushed out real quick. Twisted
Yeah,
off.
no, he has to get up. He has to get up and do the and work at the shop tomorrow.
Oh, does
So
he?
he kind of took off, and then Steppa was on too, and same deal. He wanted to get going. Actually, probably gonna go ahead and just call it a night on here too, just because we've been on for about a little more than 2 hours. So had a good time just kind of hanging out and everything like that. So I want to thank everybody that came on. Bleeker, Steppo, Tat, Splash, obviously because he's still here, and everybody that was in the chat, Callie, Papa Wheelie, Rad Art Comics, let's see who else, K-Pop, Susie, who else is here? Oh, come on, scroll up. Splash is in the chat. Thank you, Splash. Yep, I said Rad. Aggressively Relaxing. He was there when we were doing the concert talk. Let's see who else. So yep, that's everybody who joined us. So all you guys, Splash, Susie, K-Pop, Aggressively Relaxing, Radot, Tat, and Callie, Papa. Thank you guys all for participating and joining in. And that's been the show. So and thank you again to Tony. And again, I'll also post a link for the for that GoFundMe as well. The one for Big E's Comics granddaughter. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Oh, let me stop sharing actually. Go back. So I donated today. So I wanted to go ahead and donate and make sure that I'm helping out a friend. So here's that link again, just in case anyone wants to go ahead and donate to help out Biggie. So not Biggie Shaq, but his name is Big E's Comics from the New York Warriors. His granddaughter is battling cancer. She's only 17 months old, so every little bit helps. So yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff. But if you want to donate to the GoFundMe, there's a link down there. So help out Arcelia because she's 17 months old. Let's help her live a nice long life. But with that, I'm gonna get going. Yeah. With that, I'm gonna get going. So I want to thank everybody who came in to watch and checked everything out. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. You can see me and I would assume Splash tomorrow on Church. So check us out on Bleeker's channel tomorrow night on Church. Other than that, everybody else, Splash, you got anything going
on? When it comes up, it comes up. Maybe next weekend and everything. Yeah, Bleeker's tomorrow. If I get up in time, I'll be doing my seeds, getting my seed growing cabinet ready to grow my garden seeds, get them started in February.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Christina, you're joining us at the end when we're getting ready to actually get off. So, but thank you for stopping in. Christina Payne is the hottest working, I don't know, what would I call you? Chat member in the community. She's always good helping everybody out with their lives, helping promote everything. So, Christina is an invaluable part of the live shows that she participates in. So thank you for joining us, Christina. Unfortunately, we are getting ready to call it a night. So you can catch it on the rewind though, because there's a lot of good stuff that we had on the show tonight. But everybody take care of each other and yourselves, like Jerry Springer used to say, right? Trying to get deep on everyone. No, everyone have a good weekend. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye-bye.